Grill.com.
Some artworks not seen in a long time will be on view now.
A pair of small portraits by 17th century Dutch master Rembrandt van Rijn have gone on display after a long-term loan to the Netherlands National Art and History Museum. The Rijksmuseum says the portraits had been privately held and disappeared from view for almost 2 centuries before resurfacing 2 years ago. The paintings are believed to be the last known pair of privately held Rembrandt portraits. They were sold at auction this year and loaned by the family of a wealthy Dutch businessman. Keith Peters reporting.
A top European official has praised an agreement that would see Albania host thousands of migrants picked up at sea and transferred there by the Italian authorities. European Commission and President Ursula von der Leyen's approval comes just as the Albanian Constitutional Court held up the deal while legal concerns were considered. News and analysis at townhall.com. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said his goals in Ukraine remain the same.
Russian President Vladimir Putin was greeted with applause as he arrived at his end-of-year news conference in a hall in central Moscow. At the news conference, Putin said that his goals remain the same in Ukraine and there would be no peace until they're achieved. The Russian leader also added a rare detail on the war in Ukraine, saying 244,000 Russian troops are currently fighting there. Putin, who has held power for nearly 24 years, said last week that he's running for re-election in March. I'm Karen Chamas.
The Bank of England has kept borrowing rates unchanged despite mounting worries over the state of the British economy. The central bank on Thursday left its main interest rate at a 15-year high of 5.25%, where it stood since August following the end of nearly 2 years of hikes. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's a rainy day.
We're coming in clear this morning.
Yeah. Are we? Oh, we're on a different thing.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like we sound soft.
Yeah, I'm on a different feed this morning. I got to get in there and tweak. I just haven't yet. But happy Thursday. Happy,
Yes.
It's still another dreary, rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to taper, like today's the last of it.
Yesterday wasn't terrible. It was just really misty all day.
It was
like
nice till the winds kicked in later. Then it got a little chilly.
I will say it was that weird kind of like that rain that like you step on just a sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if everybody else, but my shoe got so wet. I was like, I had to spend like 10 minutes trying to wipe my shoes off on any mat before I walked into a place where I was going to slip.
Right. I did hit, like, I guess I need to get new sneakers. Because I like 2 or 3 times yesterday, I was hitting spots. And I'm on sidewalks and stuff. I wasn't like traipsing through the mud or nothing.
Right.
And I guess like certain sidewalks just had a little spot where if they had a little bit of dirt or debris on it, it was like an ice rink. And I literally stepped like 3 times and I almost ate it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, and I'm semi.
Yeah, when you do that thing where you got to skid stop, like you're playing, you're ice skating or whatever.
But yeah, like I went to get the mail yesterday and if it wasn't for my cat-like balance and ability to recover, yeah. But Yeah, I was like, maybe I should get new shoes, or this sidewalk is deceptively slippery. So.
Somebody's come out here and salt this thing.
Yeah. But happy Thursday. Hope your day's going well. We do have another day of good rain chances and all that here today. And then it all kind of goes away after today. Tomorrow will be sunny and cooler. So weekend plans should be just fine.
Long as all this clears out before tomorrow evening, we should be fine.
Yeah.
I got a date with 2 kids in a carriage tomorrow.
That's right. Matter of fact, we're going to play that interview in the 8 o'clock hour to invite others to go out to the carriage. Yes. Final weekend for the Midday Lions carriage ride out to the pecan orchard to see the Christmas lights. Friday night and Saturday night. If you go to Midday, I think it's middaylions.org. You can go and sign up there. But
it's a real easy process. Yeah, it's you just click the thing, pick your date, pick your time, and sign up. You're good to go. I am so glad they brought it back this year. It was a couple of years they didn't have it, but it's one of those traditions that I remember. Like, we went out to look at Christmas lights over the weekend, the kids and kids' mom and I, and we went to a bunch of different places in Roswell, but I specifically avoided the pecan orchards, avoided that area because I'm like, this is the spot for next weekend.
Right.
We can't spoil it now.
Saved it.
Right. Because they always go all out over there.
Kim and I also went out for a bit looking at lights. I think it was last weekend. And we were over by the McDaniel house that's very popular in town to go see the Christmas lights. And I want to give a tip of the cap to the neighbor.
Oh yeah, ditto. Love it.
He does that for the last couple of years, and we drove by and he was back with ditto. I was like,
"Yep,
that guy gets it."
It's literally I can't remember if it's Mitch Hedberg's joke or what, but he's like, "If I have to live in the cave or the mansion, I'd rather live in the cave because at least then I get to look out and see a mansion. If I live in a mansion, I have to look out and see this crappy cave."
Well, fortunately, the neighbor has a nice house. He just doesn't go all out with the lighting like his neighbor does. So he just decides this ditto and points right to there.
I was talking to Kid's mom about it, and we're like, how annoyed must the people who live directly across from Jesse be from like mid-September to like the last part of December?
I'm gonna guess that he has to grease the wheels.
Probably.
Like he's got to make nice
an edible
neighbors, and it's like, look, there's gonna be a lot of traffic coming down the street. It's gonna gum up our neighborhood here, and he offers peace offerings. I'm gonna guess it's something along those lines because he's been doing it for years, and I think at this point he's won the neighbors over to be supportive of his ventures. So that would be my guess. But I'm gonna guess it took copious amounts of treats and sweets and maybe party invites.
Either his wife makes just one amazing baklava, or
maybe yes,
or he was greasing the wheels with some
the finest sticky pudding in the land.
That's right.
But I'm gonna guess something like that. There was some kind of a meeting of the minds, so to speak, at one point there. So, but we did all that, and that guy makes me laugh every time because it should be up there with the national memes of Christmas lights and things.
100%.
Yeah, but we did all that. Also, don't forget, we got Christmas lights this Friday and Saturday. I do want to invite everyone out for an hour or two of service. Sounds exciting. But
all right.
But on Saturday, our American Legion Post 61 is we did this once again this year. We did our Wreaths Across America campaign and we have procured almost 200. I think it's just short of 200 wreaths that we're going to be distributing on graves at Memory Lawn Cemetery and other veteran cemeteries on Saturday. The public is invited to come join us for the distribution of the wreaths. We're going to meet at Memory Lawn Cemetery at 10 a.m. on Saturday. If you're not familiar with where Memory Lawn is, go east 19th and keep going east, and then you'll see it. Like if you're going off Main Street, hang it east.
Hang it east, yeah.
And then
if you're driving towards the Walmart, turn right. If you're driving away from the Walmart, you turn left.
Exactly.
So
hang it east there, and then drive for a while, then you'll see it on your left. I'm gonna start doing that.
There'll be a bunch of people there, some wreaths. I mean, you kind of can't miss the place.
But the truck and everything will be there, and then we'll distribute the wreaths and all that. But many hands make less work on that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you I think we'll have some of the scouts helping and something like that. But in all fairness, we're kind of a bunch of old crotchety people, the Legionnaires, so we need some young legs to help us achieve this goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when you get old. It just does. So, what else? I feel like there's something else I was going to mention.
Well, if we're getting plugs in,
yes.
After your you do your wreath laying, after you attend the service, pop on by Roswell Honda. We're going to be out there from 10 to 1.
Santa going to be there?
Santa's not going to be there this weekend, I do not believe. But this weekend we do have some fantastic giveaways, including your chance to win a $400 Amazon gift card, or I believe it's a Visa gift card.
Yeah.
We'll be giving that away at 1 o'clock. You got to come by and get signed up. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a qualified test driver service, and 5 with any vehicle purchase.
Someone can be greatly assisted in being Santa this year with that. Nice
little $400. That's definitely a cushion of baller.
That's exactly.
I've been looking at my current amount of money and the current needs of presents that I still have to get, and it's become very strategic at this point. I don't want to have to make any phone calls and have to loan a guy the opportunity to break my kneecaps if I don't pay him back for more money. But
it's not gonna be like the date scene from Half Baked.
No.
The money thing.
Thank you. Come on, kids, we're getting ice cream.
That's right.
Yep. No. I think things are going to be okay.
Good deal.
I think they're just going to be just okay.
It's Christmas. It'll all
Doggone
work
right.
out one way or another.
And eventually, we get to that point where the ebb switches to flow, and it's just kind of okay. I can relax for the last part of the year.
Yeah, I just can't believe it. Like it took forever to get here, and now it's creeping, like it's sneaking up on us.
Are you kidding?
Like it seems like it's taken a while to get here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, no, it feels like we were just yesterday being like, oh, we got a whole week before December even starts, and now it's like, what happened?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm like, what? Christmas is like a week and a half away now. It's like, what happened?
What happened?
It just kind of. It's like we kept hyping it, and then it's just like, and then all of a sudden. Here it is.
Yeah, we get into the minutia of trying to make it happen.
We started talking about it back in August, and then we just kind of,
I say this every year, and I fail every year, that I'm going to start in January and incrementally buy for Christmas so that I'm prepared. I never pull that off.
Yeah, that's
not even in January. Just start even in July.
That's a move that a very small sect of us population.
My sister pulls it off every year, and
she is in the minority.
And she kicks Christmas's keister, dude. She nails it every
Some
year.
people are good at that, and then there's the rest of us.
Right. That's why I'm going home, for the holidays, because okay, you put the work in for the holidays. I'm just going to be over here and with the eggnog.
Yes. My Marty Moose.
That's right.
Glass.
It's good. It's good.
That one's more tangier than the other one.
It's another one I fully watched this year. I started it and I haven't. I got wrapped up in something else and had to stop the movie, so I'm gonna have to go back and finish.
I think
Christmas
the only
Vacation.
holiday movie I've kind of officially seen. No. Two. Fred Claus.
Okay.
And then about a week ago, Kim and I rewatched, because we kind of forgot, the Christmas Story sequel that came out last year.
Oh God! So you just watched bad movies this year for the holidays?
Oh, I love Fred Claus.
Fred Claus is fine.
I love Fred Claus.
It's
to be honest, no, it's because the Christmas Story is such a nostalgic movie. I give that one a pass, and I still like it. I just like it's a little different, newer content.
Yeah,
it gives me a addition to that story, which I kind of dig. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, you don't have kids, so it doesn't hit on the same level. But full disclosure, for the first time last year, I saw the movie Elf. Actually sat down and saw the movie Elf. That is a great movie.
Oh, it is.
Even if you don't have kids, that is a fantastic movie.
I'm surprised you've finally just seen that movie.
Well, it was one of those, it's a kids movie, and I didn't want to,
anything Will Ferrell's in.
It's true.
Got
it's
an adult.
And I'd seen enough scenes of it to where I'm like, oh, I've seen. It's kind of like how, like even if you've never seen Star Wars, you've seen enough parodies of it to where you've seen it.
Like, to be honest, I think of all of Will Ferrell's movies, it's the most family friendly.
Oh, 100%.
So maybe that's why people call it a kids movie, but I would not call it.
It's directed towards a family.
It's
movie.
a family movie. Yeah, exactly.
But that movie is a reminder to me of it's sort of still here, but that real sweet spot of the early to mid 2000s where Zooey Deschanel was just so hot. And she was in everything.
Yeah, there was a hot minute where she was getting busy with work. Now all I see her in is like one of the travel commercials websites.
No, I'm sure she gets work. It's just
the only thing I see her in now is it's literally it's I think it's one of the hotels.com or Travelocity or what, where she's some kind of fairy.
Yeah,
that gives discounts. That's the only thing I've seen her in recently. So she has a sister too that acts.
Yeah, Emily.
Yes,
who is in one of those procedural crime shows.
She was in. I saw her in the first couple seasons of the show Animal Kingdom.
Okay,
you remember that USA show with the motorcycle beach?
I want to say she was on like one of the NCISs.
Kids. Yeah. Ellen Barkin's kids were like a crime enterprise. And the youngest, the grandson, was dating...
she was in Bones. That's what everybody knows her for.
Bones. Okay.
Yeah, she was Bones from Bones.
Ah.
Yeah.
Shiver me timbers.
She was Bones from Bones. That's a fun way to say you are. Who are you? Oh, I was MacGyver on MacGyver.
So Bones wasn't the dude? Because I know it was a guy and a girl in it. I never watched Bones.
I didn't either. But yeah, Bones.
I always thought Bones was the guy.
no, that's Guy Bones.
Are they both Bones? Are they married?
No, it's Dr. Temperance Bones Brennan is the character that she portrayed in Bones.
I always thought the dude was Bones.
Nope.
I never watched the show.
That's like how Peter Griffin refers to Zach Braff and Donald Faison as Scrubs and Black Scrubs. Oh, you were Bones and Bones. Okay.
Let me get you there right down. Hey, Die Hard guy.
Little baby wingers. Sorry.
I think we should start calling people by the names of the things. Die Hard, come here.
Oh my God, your suits. Here.
Hey, Pulp Fiction, come over here. Of course, that one could
confuse people. Did you know Supernatural's here too?
Only one that won't work is like the self-titled, Jerry Seinfeld show. Hey, oh wait, but you were George.
Just go around introducing Chevy Chase to everyone as it's Fletch from Fletch.
I see a lot of Chevy Chase on the internet lately, and I don't know why.
I don't like it.
I don't know why, by the way. I've just been seeing a lot lately, and I don't know why. Let me give you the rundown because we got to get her going. Brian Luck, Roswell Independent School District Superintendent, joined us yesterday. Give us an update on what happened at the last school board meeting and just an update for the district. So we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. Like I had mentioned earlier, Larry Martin joined us on Monday to talk about the Midday Lions carriage rides final weekend. So just to be a little bee in your bonnet, we're going to play that for you here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then we're going to the dogs and the cats in the 9 o'clock hour. Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society will join us, give us an update on pets available for adoption, any last-minute sales and deals going on at the thrift store for Christmas, and all that good stuff. All that jazz. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at your weather. More rain, but it ends today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers today and maybe a thunderstorm, but that low pressure system is on its way out of our area. It will be windy today, our afternoon high in the mid to upper 50s, a few clouds and a little bit of lingering rain overnight, upper 30s, and then we get sunshine back on Friday with high pressure moving in. We'll be in the upper 50s, looks like upper 50s to low 60s, and sunny for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 here in Roswell. A little foggy, misty out there. Humidity is at 93%. Winds currently out of the southeast, 17 miles per hour, gusting to 24. For today, we do have a 70% chance at some rain showers. Windy today and mostly cloudy. Could see some patchy fog here as well. Expect highs right around 50 today with southeast winds 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Tonight, 50% chance of rain, partly cloudy. Looks like lows in the lower 30s with winds out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, no talk of rain, just partly cloudy skies. Early, then gradually becoming full-on sunny with highs in the mid-50s. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Then looking at the weekend, for Saturday, mostly sunny. Expect highs in the upper 50s. For your Sunday, skies should be clear with highs in the lower, looks like lower 60s. So pretty nice and warm on Sunday there. And then looks like we'll be floating in the upper 50s to start the work week next week as well, too. All right, 7:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Superintendent of the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck. Don't go away.
The amazing primetime sales event is on now at Roswell Honda with a lot chock full of awesome vehicles primetime priced, like a 2010 Jeep Wrangler for just $299 a month, 2016 Ford Explorer just $229 a month, or a 2018 Honda Civic Hatch just $199 a month. Get a $10 Amazon gift card just for stopping by and register to win a $200 Amazon gift card every night this week at 5 p.m. sharp. Then join Roswell Honda Saturday from 10 to 1 for hot dogs, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a $400 Visa gift card. The amazing primetime sales event on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Are you looking for a way to serve your community? Look no further than the New Mexico Army National Guard. Whether it's disaster relief or defending our freedoms, the New Mexico Army National Guard is always ready to serve. Gain valuable skills, receive world-class training, and be a part of a team that makes a difference. Step up and become the best version of yourself. To join the New Mexico Army National Guard, call us at 1-800-GO-GUARD. That's 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, dare I say for the final time in 2023.
Yes.
Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, joining us this morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing
morning.
Today?
We're doing great.
Good deal. Well, you guys met for the final time in 2023 on Monday night. I guess officially.
Officially yes.
Met for the final. I'm sure they have, other meetings and things in between, but
we hope not.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's or powwows. We'll call them not official meetings. We call them powwows or get-togethers,
right?
Or just sharing of information. But if you missed it, good news is you can always go back and watch them. They are on the Roswell Independent School District's website. Or if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just hang out for the next 20, 30 minutes here, and we'll We'll give you the the good, the bad, and the ugly from the meeting on the other night.
Absolutely.
Good deal. But that being said, before we get into that, just talk about Christmas. How are things at schools already gearing up as the Christmas break's right around the corner here? How's everything going in that stuff?
You know, it is back to that thing again where the teachers come home at night and go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make this till next Friday. Everybody's excited. You know, I mean, so the calendars, if you've taught long enough, or here in Roswell at least, it's a cyclic deal. Last year, our Christmas break we had a lot of time on the front end of Christmas and very little time on the back end. I think we came back on January 2nd.
Yeah, it was like right after New Year's, it seemed like.
Yeah, bam, you're back in business, and it made January feel like its own year. This year, it's a pretty good push. So we're going
long in the front.
We go long in the front,
back.
and we wind up next Friday. We have early dismissal. The high schools are doing their finals. Everybody else is early dismissal. And pow, it's Christmas. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, Monday will be Christmas. Friday, you get out Friday, Monday's Christmas.
Right.
So.
The flip to that is they'll have a lot of time afterwards. So
they'll get to enjoy January.
Right. And then the piece of that I've got, actually, that's in my notes to talk to my administrators about here in a little bit, is that, yes, you're coming back in January we come back on the 8th, the kids on the 9th. But when they walk back in the door, they only have 3.5 weeks left in January.
Right.
So
so it's kind of crunch time for them.
Well, it's just, I don't know. As far as at the secondary level, I really liked it because that made January a little bit easier.
Sure.
To push through. But I mean, I do know that it has created some difficulties with some people and some travel. And I know we've got some families that do travel far distances. And it's like I said, just hang in there. It starts to work itself out the next,
sure.
as the years go by.
And to be honest, if your student is a regular, goes to school, does everything they're supposed to be doing, and your plans don't quite line up with the vacation plans, as long as there's not a history of missing school, I don't see you, as long as you're working with your teachers and the principal and saying, hey, they're going to be missing on this day. Can I get their work, so they can work on it while the thing and all that? Like, if you make those kinds of arrangements, I'm sure the teachers and the principals will be happy to work with you on that kind of
Well, and if there is such a thing as a good thing that came out of, the last 3 years, we are a whole lot more ready to take things online. Here, do this or take this to where you're going.
Like Albuquerque's already said they're done with school days or snow days and all that stuff.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
that's on the list. So. But it does, it is easier for our teachers because they've had to do a whole lot worse. So when we say, hey, I've got a kiddo that's going to miss the last week of school or the last 3 days of school, they already have a procedure in place because they've already had to do that.
Sure.
So. No, I mean, we've got lots of Christmas concerts, and I was out by Barreno Middle School last night, and their winter concert was going on.
The schools are going all out.
It is so nice to see families getting out back into doing that.
Because this is the normal stuff.
We're back in normal.
All this was gone during COVID, and we're just now seeing it as part of the regular, it's that time of year, time for our Christmas concert.
Well, and I've had to remind a couple people, that they'll get kind of wound up, and I said, but this is what we're after. These are the bad things that we want.
Exactly.
And they just kind of looked at me and I said, no, seriously. I was like,
this is normal school stuff.
This is regular.
Yeah.
It may have a different frame around it, but this is what regular is. And, I know I laugh. Go home and my wife will say, well, you don't remember what it's like. And I said, no, I don't, because I didn't work in this, kind of a time frame. But, I said, it is what it is. We're moving forward. And, I'm excited. We've had a really good first semester.
That's great.
We were talking about it the other night at the board meeting as far as all the things that have gone on, all of the different events, the different trainings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot.
Well, y'all have focused on curriculum. And pretty much, that's what you guys have had to focus on for this semester. What you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
The school board and this is what they're supposed to be laying the plans. Like what you guys are seeing in school now, this was decided a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, They're working towards the future at the board level. And so they're working on things like, hey, we got to upgrade the reading program. We got to upgrade the math program, whatever it is. That's the stuff they're supposed to be working on. Well, so that's what I think you're talking about. It's the good stuff,
Well, and as we hit Christmas. And it's funny because there is still half a year left to go, but in my world, I'm already looking 24, 25.
Right.
We're going to start work on a calendar, get that out so that we can get that approved. Hopefully, we usually have to wait on the budget process so that they can tell us everything. Found that out last year.
Sure.
That was something that they did not like that we had done, and we had to go back and fix it.
Sure.
We have a better understanding, we think, this time. A 30-day legislative session. So we should be able to get stuff a little quicker.
I do want to ask you real quick, what's some of the things that are going to be like that you guys have already put on your radar that you're going to be looking here in January? I'm sure there's a few things you guys heard that you said, all right, we need to pay attention to this next 30 days.
Well, one of the big ones that's come out is the state is looking at a 180-day requirement across the board.
Okay.
So that does not impact us.
Okay.
It's interesting. I've had two groups reach out to our district as far as, hey, would you be willing to say the state shouldn't do that? And I say, hey, we're at 188, and we benefit.
We're in compliance.
We're in compliance plus, and we do benefit financially for that because of the extra days. That's one of the things that we get out of it.
Well, I have never heard, a kid will say it, but I've never heard a parent saying that boy needs less schooling.
Yeah. Well, and that ultimately that's where it came from. But there is a move really basically to would end 4-day school weeks across the state.
Okay.
And so my thing on that is, in conjunction with the board is that's a local thing. And that's the way I look at it is if as small schools can get those things done, that is not for me to tell them.
Well, and then some schedules work better for them than not.
Right.
Like just it's the thing, no coat fits everyone, and that you can't. And that's kind of what happens sometimes. Is like, here's the coat. It's like, yeah, but that coat don't fit me.
Right.
And I'm very oversimplifying it, but that's in essence what's going on. That's what you're saying. It's
right.
Like, hey, that don't work for us. Works for you. I'm not going to tell you how to do your thing, but that's not how we do our thing.
The thought a few years ago was that we had learning loss, and everybody recognizes that, and that the legislators came in. Thank you. Don't want to misspeak on that. Thank you, and offered up opportunities for districts that wanted to take them to increase the number of days, and then you could add to your to the formula to help cover it financially. So we took advantage of that, and when we continued to take advantage of it last year, and we'll continue to take advantage of it again next year. So we're sitting right at about 188 days.
Good deal.
But that being said, I don't think that I should have to be able to, or I should get to tell Artesia or Carlsbad or Rio Rancho, that you have to do what this particular place is doing. So that's coming up. I think that'll be a big one for us on the radar. And then usually, as always, you're coming back to your funding sources and different things.
Money. Are we going to get some? We're going to lose some. What are we getting here? So.
Well, and as a superintendent's association, our response to most things is more doesn't always make it better. Better's better.
Sure.
And so as we're looking for solutions, that we need to make sure that we're looking for solutions that work versus just
throwing money at problems can help in lots of scenarios, but not every scenario. In education, money's a start, but without the qualified people and the experience behind it, it doesn't really do a hill of beans. It's no different than military.
Right.
You can have all the tanks you want, but no one knows how to drive them or use them. What good are they?
Well, I will say this too. I have been very blessed with the legislative team that's in this particular area. They're always very open, but they also have been very forthcoming. We want to see results, and dollars don't just grow on trees. And if they're going to support things or work for things, they want to make sure that they're going
absolutely
for the best thing.
Well, and plus people learn differently and things, and so you got to have benchmarks and criteria and requirements. You've got to meet these requirements, but when it comes to getting there, that's where we can the devil in the details isn't really always. It's like over here it works a certain way. Why mess with that?
Right.
And so that's kind of what you're saying. It's like, look, we all can agree there's an end result we need to get to, but let the boots on the ground handle the details on how that gets done.
When you mentioned a minute ago the vacancies, you mentioned them. You didn't call them by that name, but
yeah.
we were really surprised and very happy. We were looking through our numbers the other day. I believe it's like 22 vacancies, certified vacancies across the district, and of those vacancies, one particular department, which is special education, has 7 or 8 of those vacancies. So when you go to our numbers 4 or 5 years ago to where we are now, when we do recruiting fairs, we actually recruit but we don't sign up anymore. I mean, for the last 3-4 years, we were offering letters of intent on the spot because we needed to make sure that we could secure people.
Sure.
We're finally at a spot.
It was a supply and demand thing.
Well,
demand was great and there wasn't enough of them. So you had to kind of dibs them.
Well, and it's interesting because the demand is still out there. The supply is still the same. But for Roswell, we've actually gotten to the point where we can hold very quality interviews, you know, and the competition is starting to get back to where it was there, 10, 15 years
Roswell
ago.
is a more attractive location for many educators.
Very, but even within the district, as far as a vacancy or an opening, you'll have, whereas you would have 3 or 4 qualified applicants that would apply. Now you're getting 7, 8 applicants and tenured. That it goes back to where it's starting to make the difference in the classroom too. And we're starting to see that. So that was a lot of what the meeting was the other night. Was Miss Cole and her team were able to kind of connect some dots and show some trend lines that were really neat.
We're in the good direction, which is good.
Finally.
Well, and that's the thing that, the numbers and teachers and, sure, you the numbers are important. You got to have, but the numbers, it's also that quality. And that's kind of where you're touching into is that experience is what's making the difference. When you get those tenured teachers that have 5, 10 plus years of teaching under their belt, that experience translates into better results for your students. It just does.
Well, and our alt license people that bring such a unique perspective to the classroom, we've got a group of them that have got about 4 or 5 years of teaching experience now that they've really started to hit their stride as far as they knew their craft from the industry or from the business that they worked at. It was picking up the things that they had missed from I use the word teacher college, picking up the things that they missed from there and really just, again, like I said, we've got a great group in there.
Sure.
They are hitting their stride moving forward.
And just because, you're married to one too, as I am, teachers are a creative, like by and large, just if you had to lump in generalized teachers, which they, by and large, they are a creative group of people. They are the type of people that you give them lemons, they'll make lemonades. That's what they do. No matter how bad the lemons are, they're going to figure out a way to make lemonade. They may grumble about it while doing it, especially to people like spouses, but
no comment.
But these are people that will go through a brick wall for your kids, by and large, and they will they get handed problems sometimes that they don't. Most of us are like, how the heck are we going to solve that one? And they figure it out. They're amazing people, and for the love of God, treat them with respect. For please, I've seen some of the things parents have said to teachers and things, and shut up and listen. You're not knowing what you're talking about in some of these cases.
Well, I don't think anybody would come in and visit with you and say that their industry is perfect by any means. And I would say the same about ours, but I will say this too. We have made some phenomenal strides in a very short period of time that have put Roswell in a much better place. Now, I mean, the pundits will come out and say, yes, but you're still this, and look at your test scores. Understand that. I mean, we
that's
have
not going to change
standards.
overnight. You've got to get there. You got to work.
And I think that the key for us is that we do have goals and that we do have priorities within that as far as the movements that we're showing. I was in a presentation the other day that somebody was putting on and how some of our scores have gone up, anywhere from 5 to 10% in particular places, particular grade levels, particular places. And that's huge. That's a little thing that if you've always talked about the devil's in the detail. And public perception. I mean, it's easy to see something come out in the paper and say, it's not working, and it's like, well, be careful. If you dig down about 2 layers, I bet you it is.
Well, and then you look at numbers, and we're still seeing the impact of COVID from numbers. I don't care what anybody says. We're still playing catch up a little bit for a certain sect of students. That didn't, when they were kindergarten, first and second graders, when COVID hit, those kids lost a lot of valuable. That's a sweet spot for getting a lot in them, and we're still playing catch up for that from that little era there for some of these. But now these kids are 5th graders, and and so they're still dealing with some of that.
My group that I'm watching is 2nd and 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And as far as my bellwether is that those were the early on, like you said, the kindergarten, the pre-K, that really missed a lot of the formative stuff, the things that the soft skills that no one,
the
no
foundationary
that
stuff.
no one seemed to think and say, hey man, that really is a whole lot more important than you realize. You say, no, this is the more important thing. And it did. It forced us to take a really hard, long look and go, we've got to make sure that we recover that. So,
so that's part of what I'm saying, but that's the gradual, and getting back to where we started at the beginning here, this is why things are going good. Because, yes, we're not where we want to be, but dang it, we're going towards where we want to be, and we're finally seeing positive results from the things we've been doing over this time, and we're now starting to see the fruits of that labor, and that's a good thing.
And you know what? I won't disagree with anything you just said, but I will say it like this. I want to be right where we're at. I just don't want to stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that we're making the progress, and I don't want for 1 minute somebody to think that what they've done has not been appreciated, because it's huge.
Absolutely.
It's
everything.
huge.
It's all and we look at the board. We got a few new faces now from a year ago here. These people, have really done an amazing job of navigating us through this.
They have.
And doing this kind of thing, and you're included in that. You answer to them, but at the end of the day, they listen a lot what you tell them, and so that group has done so much to be. We're in the position we're in today a lot better than we were 3 years ago, and I put it on their shoulders.
Well, speaking of that, we did have our last formal board meeting for Board President Hope Morales. She decided not to run again, and so her tenure comes.
She has a very full plate of things.
She does, and your comment about navigating through COVID. I mean, those 5 individuals carried that load, and they carried a lot of criticism and
a lot of controversy that was going on in the world in school boards at that time. And you saw a couple school boards getting a lot of, and our folks, they led and did their thing.
Well, and your comment about the coat that doesn't fit, some of them were forced to wear things that were out of their control. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank her for her time and her service. That is a thankless job.
Absolutely.
Whew.
Yeah. You're I think you have to have a bit of a masochistic mindset to want to do that job.
Maybe we can talk about the McRibs again.
But my point is, we're very, and I think that just kind of the overall here, and then we kind of just maybe talk some highlights here. The overall thing is, we are all passionate about our kids. We want education. This is where people get their boxing gloves on, because it's our kids. And you can mess with me, but you better not mess with my kid. And that's kind of the mindset we as human beings have. So it's very understandable why we all have this passion.
Oh, by far.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Despite all our emotions and all that, we've had some excellent leadership that really, is it perfect? No, but nothing's perfect. But you know what? We could be a whole lot worse given the details had we had other people calling decisions and making shots.
I'm very blessed.
And we were very blessed and lucky to do that.
I'm very blessed with the group that helps
and
give me my walking
and
papers.
we're in a good position to be bigger and better because of what they did during the roughest time that probably most of us have ever seen in the world of education.
Hopefully the worst.
Yes.
That we'll ever see.
Absolutely. We got a couple minutes here. Is there some highlights from the board meeting on Monday that we want to make sure we let the public know about?
You know what? I've got one before I do the board meeting that was really cool, and again, this is back to normalcy. So we had our Thanksgiving dinner, and our cafeteria staff served 11,404 meals.
That's amazing.
Over those, I think we did it in a couple days. They used right at about 3,500 pounds of turkey.
Oh, man. That's a lot of turkey.
That's a lot of turkey. And the meals, I mean, we have, give or take, 9,000 students. So you're talking another 2,000 in guests and family that came to do that. We do have roughly 590 boxes of Christmas break food packs that are going to go out. The schools have helped ID the kids. Those things will get delivered.
I had an opportunity about a month ago. We had the food service directors for Dexter and for Roswell joining us here with the Healthy Kids Chaves County. You want to talk about people that slay dragons every day? Those her staff and what they do on a daily basis. And oh, by the way, in the summer when the kids have all those meal sites and everything that goes on, guess who's putting all that together?
Maybe a shade tree to set under, and it's 143, and
there you know, I feel like, you know, how at Christmas you always, kind of, help out your mailman and those people that do those unsung things. The food staff, you might want to. Yeah, they're equally. They have been making literally been making lemonade for students. Every single one of those cafeterias and food staff people deserve capes. They're superheroes.
They're phenomenal.
Yep.
But I wanted to highlight that. So board meeting highlights, we have 4 schools, Del Norte, El Capitan, Military Heights, and Valley View Elementary that were awarded Spotlight schools. They're in the top 25% of schools in the state as far as their scoring on their testing.
Nice.
We had 2 leadership awards that went to 2 of our board members, Mr. Cheney and Mrs. Sanchez.
Awesome.
Received some New Mexico School Board Association leadership awards. Again, we honored Board President Morales on her outgoing last board meeting.
So has she kind of said what she wants to do next year? She kind of shared her wishes?
No, I think right now the plan is for her to kind of, just continue to.
Because I know she's not just going to ride off into the sunset. She's got about 20 things going on.
No, she's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
And I think right now it's more of an evaluate. Like,
gotcha.
Where would she like to spend her time? That kind of a deal. So
she's a very huge asset to us.
She is.
And I'm going to guess, just as me just taking a stab, she stepped down from school board because she's decided that she can help us better in a different position. And that's why she's doing it. The only because I just know her. I went to leadership Roswell with her. I kind of know how, I know her. I'm not saying I'm close with her, but I know her pretty good. And she has a servant's heart to the core.
Yeah.
And that's what she does.
I don't think her work is done.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Had a really neat school safety and security update by our liaison for that, Mr. LJ Harrell. Came in and talked to the board a little bit about all the things that we've done. We've finally secured funding for an AI grant for gun detection.
Okay.
So our 4 middle schools, our 2 high schools will receive a system that runs in the background of all of our security cameras. It's always looking for firearms.
So it basically it provides safety without creating bottlenecks.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's a really neat program. Don't want to get in a lot to the weeds on it for multiple reasons, but we're really excited about that. Talked a little bit about the number of I don't want to say incidents, but our Navigate system, which is our security system. We had roughly between 25 and 30 incidents where we were called different things, shelter in place, people running around the neighborhood being crazy, RPD activity in the neighborhood, and different things like that.
It happens from time to time.
Just about every day. We've got things that go on,
but they always err on the side of caution.
We will.
So they'll lock down schools and things, even though it seems like, because you're like, well, they're blocks away. That seems ridiculous. No, we'd rather seem ridiculous and nothing happen than not seem ridiculous and something happens. So they will always err on the side of caution, even if you're like, well, the school's no threat. It don't matter. We don't want even a remote chance to being one.
It's interesting you say that. We had an incident, and I won't name the school or the part of town, but we had something about 2 weeks ago, and RPD was heavily involved in a situation. Get to the schools shelter in place is what it's called. So the kids are in the classroom, the doors are shut, they're locked, they're secured, and they're working, they're teaching. They're not barricaded. They're not,
They just lock the doors and go about their day.
They just lock the doors to make sure that they go about their days. And I made a comment to one of the police officers. I said, it's interesting. I said, here we are. I said, the 2 of us are guarding this back door, looking, just watching and monitoring what's going on. I said, and 2 blocks away is a business, and they're just businessing away. And his comment, he says, you know what? He says, and that's for them to do. He says, for us right now, he said, my job is this school. And I said, I appreciate that.
Yep.
So super excited, kind of a culture of, and it sounds kind of corny to say that, but it's a safety culture, and that has really picked up speed as far as our teachers go.
Well, we all know that this is an ongoing threat, and all of us want to make sure our kids are safe, and so I think all of us are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that those kids go to school in the morning and come home as safe as they went to it. Yeah.
You mentioned snow days, so real quick.
Yes.
So what came from state legislature last year is, again, back to learning loss. If you lose a day, you gain a day. So what Albuquerque did, and they've kind of led the state with this, we have picked up on that model, which is, should we have to stop in-person learning because of snow, we will have a virtual day or a remote learning day. So our principals have been instructed, we're working with the teachers right now, that they will have something for the kids to do that where they would continue their daily learning there at the house.
Will they take like Google Books, Chromebooks or whatever home with them at the end of the day?
I tell you what, I don't envision the Chromebooks going home just simply because sometimes they don't come back. And even
there are valuable assets that
even on a nightly basis, I think with the older kids, they will utilize Canvas, which is an online tool.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
For the kids to log on and get an assignment. And
it's kind of like an inner working system for students, teacher liaison.
Right. Have a little bit of leeway as far as the assignment coming back. I think more of our elementary schools will use more of like a paper, I don't want to say a paper packet, but for lack of a better word, they've all been notified. I mean, we did this about a month and a half ago.
So we got it. We got the folder with the packet of the homework, and you do it and bring it back for Monday.
And we've talked about, hey, plan for a day or two. Usually we wouldn't be able to, Goliath, we would have probably been multiple days.
That would have been a tricky one to pull off.
Well, I've never been more glad that happened over Christmas in my life.
Oh yeah, that was our bit silver lining there a little bit here.
But no, they understand that, and again, the flip to that is if we had to cancel and call it a day and didn't have some type of a backup plan, then we would have to make that day up.
That day would have to be.
That we
of course, I thought that was the case anyway. I thought like you got like 4 days or something, but if you use them, then you got to make them up. Or something like that.
back in the days, they were using hours, so we had to get 1080 hours. And we always were above 1080 hours.
Gotcha.
So if we had a snow day, we still came in under our over our requirements for the hours. With this one though, we're 188 days period, and so that's how that comes out. So again, my intent is I don't envision a student on a snow day sitting there slaving over pounds and pounds of work.
Now, how does this I'm getting a little in the weeds, but how does it work for like a early release or a late? I mean. Late, as long as you go to school, they're there.
Late ins are good.
A school day. If they came in and had to leave at noon because of weather, then no big. Then it still counts as a
still
day.
Good. And that again, every effort's going to be made to have the school day, just because I know the strain that puts on the community and parents and employers and different things. And then undoubtedly, you call the school day off, and then 35 minutes after that, the sun comes out.
The world revolves around our kids.
The sun comes out, and here we go, and everybody says, "Well, they didn't even need to do that."
That's just New Mexico.
I know,
but the moment we think that's going to happen, it won't, and that's why
I can very vividly remember the day sitting there in the lobby at Goddard as the parents are coming in, dropping the snow of them at 10 o'clock, going, "What are y'all, stupid?" And it's like, guys, they're here. They're already here. Let them.
We're done now. The hard part's over. Well,
and so
you want to traipse back through it to get home and do it all over again?
And they did. And sometimes we've had a couple of those. I've done this a long time, and I can remember maybe two that it started snowing mid-morning, hit lunchtime, and you're just like, okay, it's time to hit eject here. Let's go.
But that's so not us normally. So
not normally.
When it does happen, it does. But again. It's New Mexico. So I mean, who would have picked a Goliath? I mean, in all fairness, I would have never. The most snow I've ever seen in my life, and I lived in Maryland, was when I was in New Mexico. How dumb is that?
I laugh. I remember going to the store and going, you know what? Let's just for the heck of it buy a couple extra things. And somebody said, well, it's not like we're going to have a this or that. And it's like, well, but if we do, and then sure enough, we did. And, but again. Thank you to the town as far as being patient, working with that. Thank you to the parent, the businesses. Those people that have the radios on right now. If you employ people that have school-age kids, thank you.
Yeah,
it is much appreciated. It's very nice knowing that I live and work in a place where people support the district and their workers and the kids.
Absolutely, because without that support, none of it works. None of it works the way it does. And so we all have to do our part. Parents have to do their part. Teachers have to do their part. Society, the public, has to do its part, because at the end of the day, we're preparing the next generation to do what we're doing right now. the kids that we're working with, these are going to be your next mayors, your city councilors, your business owners, your superintendents, your dumb DJs. They're going to be all.
Why did you point at that office when you said that? You
was thumbing me, not Sean. But so that's that we're investing in that. So.
Yeah.
Because at that point, we all want to sit on our lawn and just watch the sunset and complain about stupid things like, why is my toast cold?
There you go.
And let you all handle the business problem. Did we get everything?
I think so. I think so. Christmas break, 22nd. We'll cut out Friday.
Yep.
And in service back on January the 8th, and then we're up and running.
That's
so
right. Then we'll get ready, and we'll be talking graduation before we know it.
Yes. Next board meeting will be January the 16th.
Okay.
We did not feel like it would be prudent to have a board meeting
during the holiday break.
Well, we won't have anybody on site to put it together, and two, there really wouldn't be anything to discuss.
Yeah,
so we'll have it on January the 16th.
That's something people don't realize is the school board just does, there's a bunch of workers and things creating the agenda, creating the things that they talk about, putting on their radar, the things they've got to discuss, and that just doesn't show up, on a Monday night. That takes weeks of planning and putting together for that board meeting on Monday night.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to
yes,
you
sir.
and
Merry
your family, and thank you for all you do and anything we need. And maybe we'll, if we got any holiday terms, don't want to pop in and talk about over the holidays here, because now we're going to be thinking about sports here a lot in a week or two here with all these holiday tournaments and everything.
Pokecorn, GHS Holiday Girls going on. I will be remiss on the dates. It's like that week before.
It's always that week between Christmas and
if you like basketball or if you just need something to do, there's basketball going 24/7.
And the Optimists do an amazing job of hosting that every year with the Pokecorn and all
longest
that.
running, oldest tournament in the state.
It is. It's very prestigious. So come be a part. But we'll have it on the radio and all
yes,
that.
Sir.
But each night, get out to the Ground Zero in Coyote.
Two really cool presentations that they're doing those nights. So I got one that we honor an adult, and I got one that we're going to honor two kiddos. So
nice.
Really neat presentations.
It's a lot of fun. You guys will enjoy it. Come on,
sir.
Good. Some of the best basketball around because you get great competition. Like I said, it's a prestigious tournament, so we get some prestigious schools that like to come and be a part of it. So it's a good thing. So thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The House has authorized an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. House Government Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says the GOP members in the House all voted in favor of the resolution.
Today's unanimous vote by our conference showed that we are united as a conference. We expect to have people honor our subpoenas. We want to wrap this investigation up.
President Biden is speaking out about the impeachment effort against him.
After the Republican-led House authorized a formal impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, the president issued a rare statement about the matter. He said instead of doing anything to help make Americans' lives better, Republicans are focused on attacking me with lies. The GOP investigation into Biden family business dealings has raised ethical questions, but so far no hard evidence of corruption. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A missile fired from Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen missed a container ship traveling through the crucial Bab el-Mandeb Strait. It's the latest attack threatening shipping in the crucial maritime choke point. A judge is set to decide whether to strike down, affirm, or hold a trial over Wyoming's abortion bans. That includes the state's first-in-the-nation explicit ban on abortion pills. The hearing is set for this afternoon. Americans picked up their spending in October, or from October, I should say, to November, as the unofficial holiday season kicked off, underscoring that shoppers still have the power to keep buying. Retail sales rose 0.3% last month. Economists were expecting a 0.2% drop. On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead 110 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Former President Obama's senior advisor David Axelrod calls a recent poll very, very dark news for the Biden campaign.
On the Hacks on Tap podcast he co-hosts, Axelrod says of a weekend Wall Street Journal poll, job approval down, ratings generally down, most of the comparatives with former President Trump, not good. Only 37% of respondents say they approve of Biden's performance, and by a 4% margin, 47 to 43%, said they would vote for Trump over Biden. 53% say President Biden's policies have caused them harm, something only 37% said of former President Trump. Bob Agnew reporting.
Relatively few Americans are excited about a potential rematch of the 2020 election between President Biden and former President Trump. But a new poll from the Associated Press shows more Republicans would be happy to have Mr. Trump as their nominee. News and analysis at townhall.com. There's a growing divide between the U.S. President and Israeli Prime Minister over the Israeli-Hamas war. The latest from the Media Alliance, Felice Friedson.
The gap between President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu was showing no signs of closing, as the American president reportedly told Netanyahu that he should prepare to shut things down within a couple of weeks. That doesn't fit into the Israeli timetable, with Jerusalem vowing to fight until the Hamas terrorist organization is no more. Nor does it fit based on the ability to fight. Hamas forces remain able to fire rockets into Israel virtually at will, and Israel continues to take casualties at a steady pace. More than 100 Israeli soldiers have been killed. The latest was a dramatic ambush that left 9 soldiers dead in northern Gaza. I'm Felice Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
News and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce, little baby wieners. The deuce.
Sorry, that was a little inside baseball there.
That was fun. I was just like, I wonder if the cameras are on yet. Well, that'll be a fun one to go back and look at KSVPTV.com. See, this is why you watch your radio, people.
That's right.
Crazy things happen right before the mics get
it was
turned
for
on.
others, not for you guys. For people that know better.
That's right.
Happy with Thursday, everybody. Hope your Thursday's going well. Oh, man. And it's funny. was Roy, and I don't want to get up, but Roy, like 2 minutes before we're about to go on, he comes in and he's like, he asked me something that kind of went down 3 days ago. And he just saw it for the first time. Right. And I'm like, yeah. So it was just a cocktail of that. And then I hit something else on my email. I'm like, really? Oh, you people.
Yeah. I used to have a mantra, and it's very hard to live by, especially in this day and age, but from 6 to 10, that's my morning show.
Right.
That is I need to focus. This is back in the day when you were doing a lot more of this stuff, and I had cart walls and all kinds of other stuff that I had to focus on for my show. But I need to zen. I need to focus on this. If sales comes at me first thing in the morning, things will fail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they don't
Stuff
get that.
will be
We're
missed.
in the zone right now on this, but it's just the nature of the beast.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Yes, but anyway, happy Thursday. Hope your day's going well. It's getting a little warm in here. I cracked the window.
Yeah,
it was officially getting 75 in here. I'm like, no, I'm not letting it creep up that.
It was warm enough that I opened my jacket. So yeah, it's the salacious hour, ladies.
Well, I knew I was like, it's cold today, but it's going to be hot in my office. I'm wearing short sleeves. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, the true New Mexico thing to do is to layer up, but it's going to be like this pretty much all day.
Yeah, but I'm going to be in here pretty much all day.
That's
which
true.
means it's going to be hot in here pretty much all day. So I wear this. You're lucky I got clothes on.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the FCC would require that if you were coming into work. I would appreciate it. At least if you're gonna make sure to give me a heads up first.
Well, I'll just say it's hot in here.
I'll get blinds for my office. So I don't go blind in my office.
Like, what happened to the days when you ran out of clothes and someone gave you a barrel? Remember,
that is true. That's the thing is, as soon as you run out of money, you somehow have access to a barrel, but you had a barrel with straps. I feel like there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe I just work to that level. If someone gives me a barrel with straps.
Just a barrel with some straps. It does feel like it would be, breezy.
Yeah.
You get a nice little cross draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's efficient too. You could store things in the barrel.
Exactly. And what if you just want to check out for a while? Can you just crouch down and be a barrel?
You're a turtle at that point. You just slip to the side of the road, just tuck in.
Yeah. Maybe if you have a lid.
Now, granted, you're going to need a pretty big barrel if you're going to need, tuck knees and get in there.
Exactly. But, we'll make it work. But I need a lid hat.
One of the most depressing. Yeah, exactly. You need something to come down.
Yeah.
So you need a barrel lid.
Yeah.
One of the most depressing things I ever saw was, and I was an adult when I saw it, thank God, it would have traumatized me as a child, but the inside of a turtle, what a turtle actually looks like.
Oh, inside? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
If you ever get a chance, and I mean, make sure you're in a good place in life, but Google cross-section of a turtle.
Oh.
It doesn't look like I was raised on cartoons.
You think it's like the Flintstones
I was
in
raised
there?
to believe that they got a home sweet home thing in there. There's a rug, a fireplace, and a bear.
I pictured Flintstones, with the the amenities of the Flintstones in there.
For some reason, there's stairs and a loft, and I was very depressed when I found out. No, that ain't what it looks like at all. It's kind of depressing. It's just like the inside of a turtle in there. They can just tuck in.
But it's yours, so it's probably home sweet home. It's your inside.
Exactly.
They
carry. But you know what? I blame a generation of kids thinking that because not on cartoons, but on just educators in general used to tell us turtles carry their homes on their back.
Well, technically they do, kind of.
That's very depressing, though. It's not what you think it is.
Yeah, but their home is anywhere they want to be.
That's true.
Like they could go to Florida.
They were the first Florida man. They're mobile.
That's right.
Mobile homeowners.
That's right.
They don't even hitch up to the third wheel.
Here's my question, and this is where I'm a little stupid. Sea turtles, they go in the water, right?
Yeah.
Do they go in the shell underwater?
Oh, I don't know. Because if you're talking like tortoises, they get.
The sea turtle.
Yeah,
the endangered sea turtle.
Big, giant, sea tortoises and turtles. I feel like their body is too big to go in, but once they hit some sort of land, they can then retract.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was wondering about that.
Because I've seen big tortoises retract.
If a shark attacks them, can they go turtle in underwater?
Can they just go turtle
underwater?
Of course, Now, see, here's where a Shark Week question would come up. Is a shark, well, would they be in the same waters, first of all? But secondly,
I imagine.
Is a shark's bite strong enough to break through a turtle's shell?
I'm going to say yes on the waters, because going on vacation years ago, went to the Outer Banks.
I'm dumb. I don't know.
And we went to the sea turtle there on the beach, and there were sharks. So I think they reside in the ocean together. Yes.
Oh, sure. When you go to SeaWorld, they live together. That's because they have to. It's because it's a space thing.
But I
mostly.
think they reside in the ocean together.
But but yeah, no. I wonder if could a shark break through, or is it even worth it at that point?
That's what I'm wondering. I think it could if it worked at it for a while. Kind of like us with a walnut. Yeah, you're gonna get it if you work at it for a while.
How bad do you want that nut meat?
I think it's something like that.
There you
go. just my in my head. I think it's something like that. But I don't know. But anyway, happy Thursday.
Yeah, on that question, we really are like shower thoughts of the morning show.
Yeah, but everyone else asks it too, so they're commiserating. Like, just pick it up in Google and look. Like, I don't
Tiger sharks have strong curved teeth capable of breaking open a sea turtle's shell like a can opener.
Oh, so
so it's getting served up like remember the key back in the day. So it's getting served up like Spam style.
Yeah, they're gonna have it like a can of tuna, just serve it away.
Mussels, basically, like on the half shell. Turtle power. Sorry. That's just my generation.
In my head, but if it's only the top, what about the other sharks? Like, I got a feeling though, like it says like a can opener. I think you have to never mind. I just think it's. I think the turtles.
It's not even Shark Week. We're giving way too much.
I just think the turtle's got a
This says,
chance.
while some tiger shark species can exert enough force to break a turtle shell, it's not a common occurrence. Turtles often escape shark attacks by retreating into their shells and using their speed and agility in water.
Okay, so turtles are fast in water.
The more you know.
So unlike land where they're slow. So if the tortoise and the hare race was in the water.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, 'cause that bunny gang got no chance. You ever put a bunny in water? First of all, you should. It's one of the funniest things you're ever going to watch. Secondly, make sure the ASPCA isn't around.
And that's when the lawyers.
But I raised rabbits as a kid. Fun fact. That was the one thing about our family was we lived in like a town, like inside the city limits. But yeah, in our backyard, it was lined with these wooden rabbit cages.
Okay.
For some reason. I never understood. The only thing was that my dad would breed them and use their pelts. He would like make gloves and coats and stuff.
Okay.
Weirdly. I feel like that might be the trait of a serial killer. I don't know. I did know the sound of a dying rabbit at way too young of an age.
Oh, this got really dark now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. Is it only 8:00 hour? Oh, I didn't mean for that to happen at all.
It got really dark.
My dad, yeah, he used to hang them from a tree out behind the shed.
I don't want to hear anymore. Stop. We're moving on. I just don't want to hear anymore.
This was my childhood. Okay,
I don't want to hear this.
You wonder how do you end up in morning radio? Well, it all started behind a barn in rural Oklahoma.
This is laying on a couch talk right there. We need.
That's true. I do pay somebody for that, so I should.
Plus, I got to get the interview going, so I just don't want to hear what's like trees. I'm like, I'm out. All right, it's 8:16. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers today and maybe a thunderstorm, but that low pressure system is on its way out of our area. It will be windy today, our afternoon high in the mid to upper 50s, a few clouds and a little bit of lingering rain overnight, upper 30s, and then we get sunshine back on Friday with high pressure moving in. We'll be in the upper 50s. Looks like upper 50s to low 60s and sunny for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get my weather here. 47 here in Roswell. Actually, it's still saying, I tried refreshing, but it given me, there we go. Still 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 93% with winds out of the southeast at 21, gusting to 33 miles per hour. For today, more rain, 70% chance of rain showers today. Winds will be accompanied with that. Mostly cloudy, patchy fog. Expect highs around 50 degrees today. Southeast winds 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance at some rain showers. Could see a thunderstorm in there as well. Expect lows in the lower 30s with north winds at around 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy for your Friday, early, then gradually becoming full-on sunny. Expect highs in the mid-50s with winds out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. For you Saturday, mostly sunny. Expect highs in the mid-50s. Sunday, clear, sunny with highs in the lower 60s. All right, 8:17, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Larry Martin talking about the Midday Lions Christmas lights out at the Pecan Orchard. Final weekend this Friday and Saturday. That's up next.
If you're looking for the best deal on your next vehicle, look no further. The Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has a huge selection of vehicles to choose from with nearly every make and model. You're sure to find a vehicle that fits your needs and budget. Whether you're in the market for a large truck, a super high-end luxury vehicle, or an affordable car for first-time buyers, the Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has something for everyone. Come experience the excitement of finding your dream car at Roswell Hyundai, the fun place to buy a car, at 1909 West 2nd in Roswell.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a rotten egg smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a rotten egg smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately. And from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Today we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." You know, one of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by two imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller. Now, you wouldn't know it from the looks of things today, but Christmas almost didn't make it to America. At Plymouth Rock, the Pilgrims avoided all celebrations, but the Dutch and Germans worked to keep Christmas alive in early America. Help arrived in 1843 when Charles Dickens published A Christmas Carol. With Christmas ghosts and a change of heart, it captivated everyone. Churches began proclaiming Christmas as a time of charity and giving, which reminds me, it's only 10 days away now, and no one's finished their shopping yet. So let's remember the words of Tiny Tim, who said,
God bless us, everyone.
I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Brought to you by Epson. Add the Epson EcoTank printer to your holiday shopping list so you can fill and chill. Available at participating retailers and Epson.com.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us back in studio, wearing just his Midday Lions hat today, Larry Martin back with us. Morning, Larry.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good to be here.
Good deal. Well, if you missed last weekend, good news. You got one more weekend left, but each year, the Midday Lions, kind of one of their, annual traditions here in Roswell, is their Christmas carriage rides. And last weekend, just yesterday, this past weekend, and this weekend are the 2 weekends. So if you missed this past weekend, good news is you have one more chance this weekend to come out and get in the carriage and ride around the pecan orchard area and see all the beautiful Christmas lights and kind of get in the festive spirit. And but it's really cool. So they during the weekend they'll have everyone gather at the Boy Scout headquarters there on Aspen, which is if you're going down Country Club, Country Club, you'll by the Jehovah's Witness Church there. There's a road right next to it. Mormon Church. I'm sorry. There's the Mormon Church there. Right next door is Aspen. You turn right there, go about I don't know, a couple hundred yards, and you'll see it there on your right.
It's well lit.
Yeah, it's well lit. Can't miss it. And then everyone's gathering there, and that's where the carriage rides leave from. And then they'll go off into the neighborhood there in the pecan orchard, and you'll drive around and enjoy cocoa and the Christmas lights and all the
little music.
Yeah, little music, little festive evening there. So, but it's very popular. It's a lot of fun, and unfortunately, we had a little boo-boo, so some people didn't quite get what they wanted. So now, but we'll make good and get it right this weekend.
Right. We found out that our poster had the wrong phone number, which was not good because the phone number guy didn't care for all the calls he was getting.
I'm sure he was probably not a fan anymore.
And they couldn't buy tickets, so we asked you to go on the website, which is roswellmiddaylions.org.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get them there easy.
Good deal. Do you want to give the correct number they can call if they want to do reservations?
No, we don't have another number.
Okay, just the online. Middaylions.org is the website?
Yes.
And go there.
Roswell Midday Lions.
I'm sorry, www.roswellmiddaylions.org. And if you don't remember that, just Google Roswell NM Lions, Midday Lions, something, and you'll see the Midday Lions are the ones that are doing the carriage rides.
Right.
And then you can go there and then get your time slots. I will tell you this: the sooner you do it, the better. So you might, even though this weekend's a couple days away, today's the day you want to get on there and lock down your times, because the longer you wait, the quicker they fill up. And we would hate for people to get turned away because there just isn't enough.
Well, Friday already has a lot of people, and 7 o'clock, for instance, is full.
Okay.
But Saturday still has a lot of room.
So if you want to get in on Saturdays, carriage rides, now's the time to do that.
Right.
And this is a fundraising event for the Midday Lions, who do a lot of work with children, work with classes. That's kind of that's one of the big tentpole things that the Lions do.
We do not go on a trip to Bermuda with this.
No.
Is strictly
it's
money
all local.
Spent to local. That's right. Local, buying buying eyeglasses for kids.
Be honest, we live in New Mexico. Sunglasses are a very important thing you need too. Even in December. Yeah. Especially in December sometimes. But yes, they do. They help with the eyeglasses and help in making sure kids can get proper vision, so they can set up that foundation for success in school and everything else.
We're starting out something too. Also, that's done in several other cities in this state, and it's a program where we look at kids' eyeballs, literally photograph their eyeballs when they're 5 and 6 years old. And
Okay.
give a good indication of an illness or a problem on the retina.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a modern concept, and we're trying to get into like the daycares and the first grades, and therefore we can catch the kids when they're young.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. It's the technology is getting better and better, which also means the cost comes down,
right?
Because more and more people are needing it. So, we're now at a point where, like you said, you can do this at like daycare centers and stuff for kids. Where I'm thinking, if you tried to do this 10 years ago, you have to take them to a special designated area with a big, you know what I mean? It's like VCRs or any electronic technology. Maybe we'll use DVD players for more modern folks. But, when you first got a DVD player and it was 10 grand for one, and then at the end you could get one for like $30. Same kind of concept here.
Yeah, my first video camera was $1,400.
Right.
Now I can do it on my phone. So.
I will never forget when my parents got a VCR, and it was kind of before the curve, and because we had one video store, a place called Errol's, and it was a local. Blockbuster wasn't a thing. Nobody knew any of that stuff, and my parents got convinced to buy a VCR, and it was two units, 2 pieces. One was, and it actually came with a camera. It was like a camera unit is one thing, and then the playback unit, but you needed both to talk to each other on your TV to work. And then it had a remote, but it had a 10-foot cord on the remote. Like so if you wanted to use it as a remote, you could, but it came with a 10-foot cord, so you had about 10 feet to use the remote on. And I'll never forget, the first thing we did was, because you record programming. That was the first time you could ever record programming. And they were showing it was during Christmas, and they were showing a holiday version, Grease, showing the movie Grease on, I think, ABC. And this was like early 80s. And my mother and father recorded it. So that was the one tape we had, was Grease, that they recorded off the TV. So for the first year of our VCR, I pretty much watched the movie Grease every day because that was the one tape we had.
Who was that? John somebody?
John Travolta. yeah. Livy Newton-John. Yeah. And as a kid, I didn't care for the dancing and all that, but I liked the race scene where they're racing in the gully there, the drainage gully, against the rival gang guys, and I think I wore out the tape on that part of the
fast forward to the race.
Yeah. I could care less about the dancing and the singing. I just want to see the racing.
You're one of those guys who wants car chases and
yeah, exactly. I didn't do what I didn't care about that. But so anyway, I got sidetracked on technology. But yeah, that was my moment, because I remember it was such a big deal when they got that VCR, and by the time 4 years later, you could get one for like $100. Everybody had one, and then Blockbuster showed up and everything else. But anyway, back to what we're talking about here. By you coming out this Friday or Saturday and having fun and with your family doing the carriage ride and see. You're going back to helping our Midday Lions here. So what's the cost to
$10 now? It's a donation.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a donation, but you got to have it to get on the
right. A
carriage.
minimum of $10. However, like I said, this is a fundraising
small
event.
Small childs are free.
Yeah. But if you'd like to throw us $20 or whatever you can afford, that would be great.
We do get donations above the tickets. They realize what we're doing.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause. This is all to help kids, and like you said, giving more opportunities. Like you said, the big thing you want to do is get this eyeball exam thing where we can go into these daycare centers and schools and offer this for kids. So when they're 1, 2, and 3, they can determine some of these things that they weren't determining until they were teenagers or later in life. And so, and that's why you see, like if you notice, like younger and younger children wearing glasses now, like babies even wearing glasses, because the technology is getting better where they're able to determine these issues with their eyes, when they're infants or 2 years old now, instead of when they're 4, 5, 6, or, school age. And so it really helps because now they can correct all that before school. So by the time they get to kindergarten, they start learning letters and numbers and everything. It starts to make sense. This is the same thing with like dyslexia and some of these other eye issues. They're able to determine that stuff through this earlier. So
we find out if you can't read in the first grade, you don't do very good in the third grade at all.
Exactly. But they're able to so by you coming out Friday or Saturday and bundling up and riding and seeing all the beautiful Christmas lights. And by the way, tip of the cap to our neighbors that live in that area. As they do every year, they do an amazing job of lighting up and just giving you these beautiful Christmas just scenes. You're driving that whole neighborhood.
These are some of the nicest houses in the city.
And Jesse McDaniel's house is right in there because that's one of the more popular homes in the city that people love to go watch Christmas lights at. And he's kind of right near there too. So I'm not sure if he's part of the tour, but he's nearby. So if you don't get it on carriage, you can do it on the way to or on the way back from and check it out. He's got one of the ones where you tune into the radio and listen to the music and all that.
Okay.
So,
one thing I wanted to mention, are you aware that Robert Reynolds is no longer with us?
I did not
he
hear
used
he
to
passed.
come here.
Yeah, did he pass?
Yes, he was.
I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was wondering.
He was in a car wreck a couple of months ago, and it finally got to him. And
how's his wife doing?
She's still in a home in Hobbs.
Okay. Oh, that's.
But I noticed he was on here quite often.
He was. He used to come on, and he'd do our every month. He'd come on, just talk about things happening around town and stuff, and then And then I had seen him for a while. I thought he got sick a little bit.
He's a good man.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Some kind of car wreck in El Paso, I'm understanding.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So they ended up in Hobbs, and he didn't survive their accident.
That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. And he's got he's an interesting guy to talk to and everything. If you ever got a chance to, he's a Marine, so he always had the Marines mindset. But he used to talk about how because he used to drink and he put on a lot of weight and was going through some problems, and he turned all of that around. He lost over 120 pounds or something, and really, in the last 5-6 years of his life, he'd really gotten healthy. He lost a ton of weight. He was working out every day. He was just enjoying life. Him and his wife, his wife battled cancer, and so they were handed a lot on their plate, and just sad to hear that. They were doing pretty well leading up to that. But that's life.
Yeah.
You don't, again, kind of reminds us, life is short. We don't know. This is why you got to spend these moments and why you
it's one reason when you get over 60, 65 and you start retiring and you start wondering what you're going to do until you die at 104, then join the Lions. Help us with the Literacy Council. Join the Kiwanis. Join the
Get
Optimists.
active.
Whatever. Do something and volunteer.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
That man was involved with, if there was an event in town, he was usually there. He was that. Him and his wife both, very active in the community, being at things. And so, unfortunately what happened, but they were the epitome of just good people that are getting involved in life and being active participants in their community and doing all that stuff. So, don't take that stuff for granted. This is what, and Larry's saying, if you need something, like you said, you're retiring and you're looking to feel like you need to belong or need something to be a part of, this is where you come in. Like you said, the Literacy Council is always looking for tutors and volunteers. The Lions are always looking for, and I'm just, JC's, Kiwanis, all of them. Sports, youth sports, they're always looking for coaches and referees and stuff. So if that's your passion, get involved that way, but find something that you're passionate, that you're into. If you're into the kids and helping kids medically and things, the Lions and a few other organizations would love to have you come be a part of it and be a part of their work and what they do.
If you're interested in the Lions, we meet at the Stellar Cafe on Main Street,
right here across the street,
downtown here.
Always have good things to drink and eat. So
12:30 Monday, every first and third Mondays.
Nice.
12:30.
So you come and you have a cup of coffee,
and buy a meal. Obviously they want you to eat.
And the
there.
food's pretty good.
It is excellent.
It's a good place to sit down and have a chat and enjoy a meal.
And I think the Liberty is right behind it. After I listened this morning, Liberty is right behind it in the parking lot.
You can walk on over if you need to.
Yeah.
But it's So and you moved the first and third Mondays.
First and third Mondays.
Monday. What time?
12:30.
12:30. Right there at lunchtime. So come on down if you would like to be a part of the midday Lions. And come, or better yet, come out Friday or Saturday.
Check us out
and talk to them. So.
See, make sure we're not a bunch of obnoxious jerks. That's somebody else. That's not us. We all have fun. In fact, I'll throw in another plug here. All of us support the Boy Scouts. The small group that we have with the Lions supports 2 troops and 2 packs.
Nice.
Cub Scout packs. So we're fervently behind them in the Boy Scouts.
That's probably one of the reasons why they're nice enough to let you guys use the parking lot.
That's right. We
they're at the Boy Scout headquarters.
Butter them up, and they're your friends.
Scouting's a great organization. I say this every time I talk about scouting. Who I am today is because of scouting. Yes, my parents and other things, but my scouting was, I did that. I did everything you could possibly do in scouting. I'm one of the products that scouting's got. I'm an Eagle Scout. I went to a World Jamboree. I was in the Order of the Arrow, and I'm a Vigil Honor in that, which if you know what that is, you know what that is. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. Yeah. I served at district levels. I went to Philmont, which I know is not as big a deal here, but it is when you live in other places. I went to Australia because of Boy Scouts. I took full advantage of scouting. Scouting is matter of fact, when I joined the Air Force, when I got out of basic training, I had 1 stripe on my arm because I'm an Eagle Scout. That's why.
No kidding.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's still the case at this, but in the 90s, if you joined the service and I joined the Air Force, I went through basic training as an airman basic. But the moment I graduated basic, they put a stripe on my sleeve, and I saw a little pay raise increase in my.
They put you in charge of all those other guys?
Not really.
No,
because we're all still dumb at that point. I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
Like you're in charge of some of the dummies, but there's a higher ranked dummy ahead of you to make sure that you're handling your dummies.
Right.
And I say that because we're all dummies at that point.
Anyone in the service knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that so to me, scouting is an amazing opportunity for youth to really put it this way, especially in this world where we live in the world of I don't know how to do anything. I need to hire someone to teach me how to do this. Scouting allows you to not do that if you pay attention, because in scouting, one of the mottos, be prepared. And they teach you, okay, what do you do in this situation? What do you do when this is broke? What do you do when this doesn't? That's scouting. It's there's a camping theme behind a lot of it. So you do a lot of wilderness survival, and how do you make a fire without matches? How do you?
Well, you learn don't point a gun at anybody.
You learn safety. Well, even like all of my knife and hatchet and axe and saw skills was taught to me through scouting.
And you had to have a card before you could
totem chip.
Yeah, totem chip. That's
totem
right.
chip. That's that was your certification on where you can handle a pocket knife and a hatchet and a bow saw and an axe.
Right.
And you go through training. I bet there's a lot of things most people that handle axes and saws and knives every day don't do that they're supposed to do. Things like safety circles and how to sharpen properly and how to store them and how to maintain them while using them at the same. This is and the do's and don'ts about which way to whittle. Like if you're that guy pulling the knife at you, you should take a totem chip class because you're about to cut
yourself. Yeah.
So scouting is an amazing thing, and granted, I grew up there in the 90s, so it's even different now because they've added the computers and the technology and the things that also are a part of today that weren't when I was a kid. Like you go to scout camp now, and they have usually a technology center in the cabin. Like even Camp Wahenepe, which is in the middle of up in the mountains up there, and there's no cell signal, there's no nothing, and a lot of Boy Scout camps are like that, but they still have a technology center where you get to learn about modern things and all that, even though you're out in the woods camping. And they're like, so yeah, right afterwards you're going to go to a canoeing class or a scout craft, learn to lash and ropes and tie and all that. But in between that, there's also technology and graphic design and all the modern stuff too that's part of scouting. So I will always, if you have children, scouting's a good thing. I highly recommend.
Generally, you learn to swim for one.
You definitely learn to swim.
Which, I've met adults that are 50 and they can't swim, and I said, "Holy mackerel! Don't go out on a boat."
I learned in scouting.
Yeah,
I learned in scouting how to swim. Scouting taught me all that stuff.
By the way, the 7 major first astronauts were all Eagle Scouts.
I knew some of them were. I didn't know every one of them. I knew Neil was. I knew
Armstrong
a couple others
and
were.
those guys.
Yeah. Well, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
They also all own Corvettes, I think, too. But
and they were all basically fighter pilots all over.
Oh yeah, they're all test
Neil's
pilots.
Test pilots, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well,
these are unusual men. Let's face it.
From my experience in the military, pilots are a unique breed of themselves already. And then when you get into the test pilot world, that's another level on top of that. So those guys were the best of the best, but also the nuttiest of the nuttiest, if that makes sense a little bit.
Yeah.
They do and things that you would just be like, what the heck? And they think, oh, that's just fun for kicks on a Sunday. That's how they're built. They're built different than you are.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes for them to push the envelope. And, guys like Chuck Yeager, think about what they did.
If you watch that movie, I think Right Stuff.
Excellent movie. Love it. Yeah.
Yeager was not put into the top 7 because he was too old.
Yeah, and and the movie portrayed it like he thought space was kind of like a clown thing. I think he later changed his opinion, but like when they were looking for the first Mercury 7 astronauts and all that. At least the movie gave the impression to me that he kind of thought that was beneath him a little bit. He was a little...
Well, he was a fighter pilot in World War II, so that would have been he'd been 40 or
he would have been a little old.
In his 60s.
He was a little older than those guys too. Yeah, Gus, Grissom, and all those guys were probably 10 years younger than him. So, that makes sense.
That's an interesting movie for anybody to watch. Really,
it's good to get the gist of how everything went down. I mean, the details are a little Hollywoodized, but as far as like the process in which these astronauts were getting ready for their missions and the whole weeding out, which New Mexico had a role in, of weeding out the thousands of pilots that they were testing to get the 7 astronauts to be the first 7 as part of the Mercury program. Places like here, Kirtland and all that, they were testing centers, and so they had, like, if you watch the movie and you see them do all these weird tests and riding bicycles while wearing oxygen masks and hanging out in centrifuges and all the things they're testing them on, a lot of that was done out here in New Mexico and testing them on that stuff. So just a little piece of history there. I know we're way off the Lions Christmas thing, but
I want to throw a plug in here for the Literacy Council since I'm here.
Absolutely,
We're still going to have a Knowledge Bowl sometime in April.
All right.
And we're not sure if schools will participate, but
we'd love
if you're in a club and you want to participate and represent your school, work with us. We'll take the first club that comes in. You can represent Roswell High or Goddard or whoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are 9 high schools in this county, counting Lake Arthur.
And so we should we should have enough representation from our schools to be there, and you got to take on us old people, because us old people are usually the ones doing it, and quite frankly, not all the questions are geared towards old people. I mean, it's a mix. Some of it, if you're a little younger, you would probably be better suited to know it than some of us older people. But that being said, it's pop culture, it's geography, it's a little bit of everything, sports, history, it's game on. So that's the idea. Is you get you and 4 others that are kind of, and between the 5 of you, you're kind of experts in your own little fields. And maybe one's good at sports, maybe one's good at history, maybe one's good at pop culture, maybe one's good at geography, whatever. And that's kind of the gist. However, I'm going to guess most teams have one person that knows all of that and the other 4 that know a little bit, and they kind of, you know what I mean? Like there's always, but however you do it.
Well, there's always some grandpa there who knows everything.
Yes, because they lived it.
Except the new stuff. And we throw a lot of questions from a lot of different categories, a lot of different history levels, and
that's when our younger fans generally start.
A couple of music things, like who was Elvis Presley's drummer?
Right,
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, they're like, who's Elvis Presley? And we got a problem. Well, that's like, I saw one of those over the weekend where it was like an old photo of, I can't even remember who the famous singer was. And then, but the whole point of the meme was, he just got this dude to play guitar with him. You look over, it's Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
But they're like, who's this clown? And like, it's Jimi Hendrix, probably arguably the greatest guitarist ever. But what do I know? Yeah. But anyway, it was one of those memes. But it's a lot of fun. It really is. That's the great part about it is the years I've done it, we've had probably about 20 to 30 teams that were competing. And it's just fun. Everyone has laughs and giggles. Y'all put out a great spread of snacks and things. So if you leave hungry, it's kind of on you. It's your fault because there's a ton of food.
We've been doing it in the Joy Center. It's a nice room. It's
good size.
Got running water and a toilet. We're modern here.
We do like those things. Yeah. but look for that here in the spring, around April time frame. But in the meantime, looking for volunteers. If you were mentioning earlier, if you're a retired teacher or maybe you just love to work with folks. You don't have to have a degree in teaching to volunteer for the Literacy Council, but they're an organization that help people for free of charge become literate, and that could mean multiple things. It could be maybe they're trying to get a GED. It could be that English is not their first language, and they're looking to make English their first language. Could be people helping to get their citizenship. You help people do that too. It could be just garden variety tutoring. Maybe an adult that they were farming and ranching, and things like schooling wasn't that important because farming and ranching was, and so your reading level's probably at a 7th or 8th grade level. Well, if you want to make that better, the Literacy Council can help you do that. And all of that they provide free of charge. But they need volunteers to help with tutoring, to help with just helping. And that's just it. It's the basics. You don't have to be a chemical engineer to do this kind of stuff. If you're proficient in reading, writing, and math, you guys have all the training materials. There's, you just don't turn them to the walls and say.
We have several computers and a whole bank of them, really, and programs that you can sit and monitor if you're teaching them this something.
Yeah, so it kind of is a guide to help you to follow along. So,
Right.
the experts have figured out the path to help teach people. You just got to follow the playbook, so to speak. And that's
I recruited one off the rides this weekend that knows Spanish, and she said, "Oh yeah, she'd love to help with the literacy council."
I would imagine that's a big
That's cool.
asset. If you've got some bilingual in both languages, not little Spanish, but fully bilingual in both languages, that would be a huge asset to the Literacy Council. If you'd like to volunteer some time to make the lives of other people better in our community. And that's really what they're doing. It's just helping people make lives better, whether it's to get to that next step, or maybe it's the grandparents now having grandkids that are in the age of learning some of this stuff, and you feel like, how do I help them with my homework when I can't do it myself? And maybe I should do some of that, and or be the example. When you got the kids struggling and you're struggling, you're like, well, I'd love to help you. Do it together. Say, all right, well, Grandpa or Grandma is going to go to the Literacy Council, and we're going to work on something while you do it together. And maybe you're being an example for your children or grandchildren, whatever that is. The Literacy Council would love to help you. But that being said, we need more people to volunteer and help out because they work different hours. You work around the person's schedule. So if they work a 9-to-5 job and are only available in the evenings to do this stuff, then that's when the volunteer helps them. Or if it's during the day because they work nights or whatever, or they got to babysit or whatever it is, you work to their schedule. So.
Well, we have someone down there off and on. It's not, we only employ one person, but we have several volunteers on the phones off and on. So
sure.
You can always leave a message. Someone will get back with you.
Absolutely. And the Roswell Literacy Council does has a Facebook page. If you leave a message on there, someone will get back to you on that. But the big fundraising event for each year for the Literacy Council is the Knowledge Bowl. That I mean, they have other things that go on, but that's kind of one of their main events, and it's in the spring here. And we'll talk more about it as we get into the new year here and get closer to it. But kind of mark it on your calendars now. And like Larry was saying, a big shout out to our high schools, principals, superintendents, teachers. If you're listening, this might be a fun little thing to get with your class. Maybe it's your classes. Maybe you have a history class or an English class or a math class, and you want to pick out 5 of your students that want to participate, maybe, or something like that. But put the plug in with your students. And if your student's listening and you're part of an organization, maybe it's Honor Society. Maybe 5 of you from Honor Society want to get together and put a team.
You don't have to have the principal's permission.
No.
I don't think. Maybe, yeah. Well, I could be in trouble here.
Check first on that one, especially if you're representing the school. They might require some of that.
Yeah.
But if you're just a group of friends and you met at school and you don't represent the school, then you don't need the principal's permission or nothing. You just do. But if you want to represent your school, might want to talk to them first. Especially if you want to wear your Coyote colors or your Got It Rocket colors, or whatever your school colors are, or maybe there's
the Lions actually won last year. The year before that, I think it was the Eagles.
Yeah,
and before that, it was Altrusa. So some of the local.
Oh yeah,
clubs. Like I'm trying to get Kiwanis, and
I think our American Legion post 61 has been doing it for several years.
Yeah.
I think the best we've gotten is like second or third. I think we never win it, but we're in the hunt usually. So till the end, we know just enough to be dangerous, but occasional youth gone wild type commercial or type question in there messes us up because collectively we're all old. I'm the youngest one in the bunch, and I'm 50. So.
Well, I think you remember the one family came last year, and I wish I could remember their name.
Oh yeah,
and they came in second by just a point or two.
Well, see, I think a family of 4 or 5 is a winning combo because mom and dad can handle generally the adult questions or the questions of trivia, but then the kids know all the pop culture and the more modern references.
Well, I can remember I was watching them. I asked a question. Dad looked over at Mom, and they both kind of, no. And then they looked down at their, I don't know, it was 9-year-old And he knew the answer. Oh, okay.
See? And guess what? I bet mom and dad were glowing. Like,
Yeah.
That's my child right there, you know? Love that. That's what this, so make it a family thing, make it a group thing, whatever it is, but come out and mark it on your calendars for April here for the annual Knowledge Bowl with our Roswell Literacy Council.
Yeah.
Almost said Midday Lions. That's a different thing. So, and then don't forget, this is your final weekend, Friday night and Saturday night. They're going to meet at the Boy Scout headquarters on Aspen.
Starts 6 to 9:30.
6 to 9:30. Go to www.roswellmiddaylions.org and reserve your spot beginning at 6:30 there. Like Larry mentioned earlier, if you want Friday, it's just about filled up. So you might want to get in there pretty quick if you want to do Friday. We still have lots of openings for Saturday. That will change. Don't wait till Thursday or Friday to start booking your Saturday thing. Knock that out later today here. Get it done after the show when you get a chance. And that way you don't have to worry about it. You come in, you get ready to get on the carriage at your appropriate time, and then you're ready to roll. So
we do have a fireplace.
Okay, to warm up while you wait.
Fire burner.
Yeah, so if you get there early.
Yeah, you can, and it really works. But I'll tell you, the other night it was probably in the low 30s, I think, which is not too bad, really.
No.
We've been there, it was 10 degrees, so the 30 is a nice night.
Yeah, and looking at the weather, it looks like it might be in the upper 20s here Friday and Saturday night for overnight lows. So it'll probably be in the 30s.
That's the midnight or 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so it'll probably be in the 30s, upper 30s there when you're out carriage riding there by that point.
Anyway, bring a coat, okay? And we have hot chocolate.
And then you'll find out how real good that heater works real quick.
Right.
Like Larry's right, it does work pretty good. Yeah. Turn around to your backside, then back to the front. Yeah, you know the rules.
Yeah.
But come out. We'd love to have you again Friday night and Saturday. 6:30 is when the carriage ride starts. Six. I'm sorry. They'll go to about 9:30 here. RoswellMiddayLions.org. That's the website. Reserve your spot. Warning you now, Friday's almost filled. There's still a little bit of time, and then Saturday got some, but sooner. Time is not your friend on this one. Get doing it sooner rather than later. And this is it for this week, for till next year. This is the last weekend. It was this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, this past couple days ago, and then this weekend here. So, and if you miss it this time, then you're gonna have to wait till next year. So, but
sorry.
Yeah. Well, Christmas comes once a year. That's what happens. We don't make the rules. Good deal. Is there anything we missed, Larry? Did we pretty much get it? I know we got sidetracked about 10 things.
Well, I'm loosely attached to the RSVP, Roswell Seniors Volunteer.
Yeah, they do it. That's a great organization.
So if you really don't know, if you're in the volunteering mood and you don't know who, call Sean. I'll give you a phone number here, 317-5661, along with the 575, naturally. But 317-5661, and he can sort of advise you on what you want to do, like Habitat for Humanity is one of our organizations.
Yeah, they kind of an organization that helps other organizations.
Right.
A lot of stuff with seniors, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but definitely another great thing to get involved.
I'm also involved with Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transportation.
They're always looking for.
They're looking for drivers.
They're always looking for drivers. If you're not familiar, another great organization that takes veterans to doctor's appointments outside of town.
Yeah.
It could be a drive to Artesia, could be a drive to Lubbock, could be a drive to Albuquerque or El Paso. It just depends on where their VA appointment is. And put it this way, there's some folks that would not be able to see their doctors had not been for the great work of the veterans transport. And it's a great organization. It's all grassroots. They get some help from a few businesses around town to help with vans and
the dealers help us out.
Yeah, maintenance costs and gas, fuel costs and all that, which we're so grateful. But it really is the volunteers that make the trips to Lubbock and El Paso and on a weekly basis. Some go 2-3 times a week. Some, and they're always looking for volunteers. Whether you can volunteer a day or every day, they would love to have you. So if you can only drive once a week or once a month, they'd love to have you. So, good deal. Well, thank you, Larry, as always. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time here. And we'll all start brushing up on our trivia so we can get ready for the fall.
Come January, I'll be back mostly for the Knowledge Bowl.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
But don't forget, RoswellMiddayLions.org. Get your carriage rides. Come on out. Create some family memories this weekend.
You bet.
Good deal. Thank you as always. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Good. Thank you, Mike.
Anytime.
Here is your chance to get the furniture you've been dreaming of. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and it's time for a sale. We are giving additional discounts on everything in the store. That new bedroom set you've had your heart set on, a dining table for new family members, even artwork to enhance your space. It's all here right now at discounted prices. Don't miss out on this rare sales event. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need priced to move, with payments as low as $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year. Hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Big news on the local political scene today. Artesia Mayor John Henry announcing he will enter the race for New Mexico's District 54 House seat. That's the seat currently held by Jim Townsend. Townsend, though, has previously said he will not run for the seat, but instead would run for the Senate seat after 10 years in the House. Henry, meanwhile, also served 7 years as an Eddy County Commissioner. This is his first term as Artesia's mayor. A traffic alert in Roswell. One block of South Garden Avenue needs to be closed. That'll happen starting Friday, so crews can locate and repair a water line leak. The closure will occur between East McGaffey and Jefferson Streets. Depending on the specific location of the leak underneath the street, the repair is expected to take about a week to complete, but could potentially take longer. And the Gonzales Hope Warming Shelter in Roswell will remain open until 8 tonight at 405 East 3rd Street in Roswell. The center is a partnership between the Roswell Community Disaster Relief Program and Many Hands Roswell. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're talking Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The House has authorized an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Authorizing the month-long inquiry ensures the impeachment investigation extends well into 2024, when Mr. Biden will be running for re-election. House Republicans say Hunter Biden is in more trouble after defying a congressional subpoena to appear privately for a deposition, with investigators digging into his business dealings. Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan says Hunter Biden could face contempt of Congress.
We will begin looking at that. Both the lawyers for the Oversight Committee, the lawyers for the Judiciary Committee will move in that direction. But look, when Congress asks you to come, you're supposed to come and testify.
House GOP leaders say they'll begin looking at contempt of Congress proceedings in response to Hunter Biden's lack of cooperation. Wednesday was a record breaker on Wall Street.
Wall Street rallied after the Federal Reserve indicated that the cuts to interest rates investors crave so much may be coming next year. The Dow jumped 512 points. That's about 1.4%. The Dow reached a record high above 37,000 points. Other indexes that investors follow more closely also leaped. The S&P 500 rose 1.4% and is within reach of its own record high. The Nasdaq Composite gained 1.4%. Wall Street loves lower interest rates because they relax pressure on the economy and goose prices for all kinds of investments. The Fed indicated it may cut rates several times next year. Seth Sutel, New York.
The number of Americans filing for jobless benefits fell last week as the labor market continues to thrive amid high interest rates and still elevated inflation. The Labor Department says applications for jobless benefits fell by 19,000. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 105 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A UN report says Taliban officials are sending Afghan women to prison to protect them from violence by men.
According to the report, the Taliban is sending women to prison if they have no male relatives to stay with or if the male relatives are considered unsafe. Afghan authorities have also asked male relatives for commitments or sworn statements that they'll not harm a female relative. Before the Taliban seized power in 2021, there were 23 state-sponsored women protection centers in Afghanistan where survivors of gender-based violence could seek refuge. The UN says that now there are none. I'm Donna Warder.
The European Central Bank has decided to keep its key interest rate at a record high and will leave it there as long as needed to battle back inflation. The signal cuts aren't around the corner despite expectations the bank will act next year to support the shrinking economy. News and analysis at townhall.com. Safety inspections have been ordered for Boeing jets.
5 years after a fatal accident, federal officials are proposing modifications and additional inspections to the engine housing of nearly 2,000 Boeing jets in the U.S. The proposal by the Federal Aviation Administration follows recommendations that Boeing made to airlines in July. The FAA wants airlines to replace fasteners and certain other parts that surround the engines of many older Boeing 737s. Airlines will have until the end of July 2028 to make the changes. John Scott reporting.
A Navy officer jailed in Japan over a car crash that killed 2 Japanese citizens has been transferred into U.S. custody and is being returned to the United States. That's according to a statement from the family of Lieutenant Ridge Alconis, who'd been serving a 3-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to the negligent driving deaths. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3.
Trace of your nose.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday to you.
Ah, yes.
It is a bit rainy and overcast, but we're okay with that.
It's just kind of, it's like not even moving.
Yeah.
The water, it's just like hanging in the air.
Yeah.
And if you move into it, it will accumulate on your glasses /windshield, but
I hope it's getting a nice soak in and getting some good moisture And then we got one more day of it, so drink it in, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow we're sunny and back to like what we normally get.
Yep.
I hear tell that we might even hit like low 60s by Sunday.
Dude, that would kind of rule. Although after 2 days of this, it's going to be pretty humid. Got to imagine.
Yeah, but 60s and humid, I mean, that's probably not.
Yeah.
Way nicer than 90s.
Humid in general for me ain't nice.
Well, growing up where I grew up, East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
when it's 40s, 50s, 60s and humid, it's actually a little bit kind of your friend. It doesn't feel so cut to the bone cold.
Mhm.
Feels like you're
Like it's there's a thickness in the
like
air.
you're in a broke sauna.
It's a lot less naked old men. Unless you plan it right.
Well, you know, certain parts of town you hang out in, you might see more than you wanted to in others, but you know, yeah, enjoy it while we got it, because we don't get it very often. That's why, yeah, it's kind of like yesterday we were talking about people in London, sunny day, they don't know. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands.
Right.
Same here. It's like it's raining all day. What?
Yeah. What? Huh?
Like here? Yeah, I was pretty, like, I did triple check yesterday when I was reading the weather forecast. Like, this is Roswell, New Mexico, right? Not Georgia. Because they're, like, saying 100% chance of rain. I'm like, what is that about?
I've never forecasted that in my entire life.
I didn't either till yesterday.
100% chance of rain.
Yeah, I never did. And in all fairness, though, I felt like we should have got more rain for 100%.
Right. Well,
felt like we got shortchanged a little bit.
Okay, so I read this a couple of years ago, and I always have a hard time remembering it until situations like this come up. When they say a 60% chance or whatever, it's not a 60% likelihood that it's going to rain. It's that of the coverage area that they're surveying, 60% of that area will experience precipitation.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Of some sort. That's what the National Weather Service says.
Yeah, see, I don't think they know either. Like, I think legit, they just make this up as they go along sometimes. I think they're just like, I read the computers, and that thing might blow this way, and so they come up with this thing to make it seem important. But I mean, let's face it, if they get within 50% of being right, then they're nailing it. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like
it's the only industry where the likelihood of you being accurate in your forecast matters at all. It makes no difference whatsoever, because you could be completely off, and it's not my fault.
Like, in all fairness, I know the technology's better. Like, they tell you every time, we got our new Doppler 37 radar, blah, 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 whatever. You know, we can see the Space Needle from your house, with all this, or whatever it is. But has the technology gotten better? Like I would like to go back in time and watch weather forecasts from, say, the 60s. And then watch them today and see if they're just as right.
I would imagine it would be a real hard sell back in the 60s. Oh, I don't even know they did accurate, like AccuWeather or whatever like that back in the 60s. They would every now and again do a forecast, but then again, if you've seen movies like Twister, you know that the lengths that people who do like follow storms and stuff go to getting like things into the sky, like indicators, sensors,
right.
the satellites and all that. But we've definitely improved in that category.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say yes. I would agree with that. So, but I still wonder. Because at the end of the day, they're just saying it's about a 50%. I'm sure back then they were saying the same thing. But were they more right or were they more wrong? I don't know.
Statistically speaking, I got to imagine that they're more accurate than not accurate.
Yeah.
If they're going to call themselves AccuWeather.
Well, yeah. But
unless their argument is, oh no, we were referring to acupuncture.
Well, that goes back to eyewitness news. How many of it are we eyewitnessing?
Yeah. Well, you weren't there. You don't know. You only were there because I called you. And then you came here.
Yeah. So then they switched to action.
Right.
It went from eyewitness news to action news. So
action eyewitness. And then they just combine them.
Yes.
Action
and now,
eye.
The trend is we're your friend. That's the new, like, we're going to get you what you need. We're going to be on the scene. We're going to be, now it's like, hey, we're your friend. We're your trusted compatriot. Listen to us.
For the ones you love.
As we manipulate your brains and thoughts.
Panic with us.
Yes.
Your number one source for panic for the past 15 years.
Yes. Very good. Well, Crystal Noble's here joining us from the Roswell Humane Society.
Less
For some
panic,
reason,
more
we
puppies.
have Pastor Sean here. I don't remember scheduling him, but we'll work that one out. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I didn't book that one. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then I'll sort that out, and then we'll talk to Crystal here and then we'll get that taken care of too. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few showers today and maybe a thunderstorm, but that low pressure system is on its way out of our area. It will be windy today, our afternoon high in the mid to upper 50s, a few clouds and a little bit of lingering rain overnight, upper 30s, and then we get sunshine back on Friday with high pressure moving in. We'll be in the upper 50s, looks like upper 50s to low 60s, and sunny for the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
If you're looking for the best deal on your next vehicle, look no further. The Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has a huge selection of vehicles to choose from with nearly every make and model. You're sure to find a vehicle that fits your needs and budget. Whether you're in the market for a large truck, a super high-end luxury vehicle, or an affordable car for first-time buyers, the Roswell Hyundai Used Car Supercenter has something for everyone. Come experience the excitement of finding your dream car at Roswell Hyundai, the fun place to buy a car, at 1909 West 2nd in Roswell.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I think we've all had the experience of getting our child some big expensive present. He tears it open and looks at it and smiles and squeals with joy, and then he spends all the rest of the day playing with the box. Drives us crazy. At this time of year, we spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect Christmas present for all of our family members. And as soon as Christmas is over, they're often forgotten about. Wouldn't it be more meaningful and less stressful to focus on the time we get to spend with our family and friends? Even more importantly, we should take this time to remember what the season is really about and teach the importance of it to our children. This is the time to remember the birth of our Savior and commit to remembering His love for us every day of the year. Jesus gave us the best present of all, His saving grace and love. Let's share that gift with everyone we know. Join us as we learn more about the best gift ever.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we're going to do a twofer this hour here. Crystal's going to join us here in just a minute, but we also have Pastor Troy and Pastor Sean joining us here from Church on the Move. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody.
Good. How's it's been a little bit since I've seen you guys. How's life been over at Church on the Move?
Busy.
Yeah. I know you always got a lot of stuff going on. There's always seems like every month there's a big event or a big something going on at the church for everyone to gather here. And now that we're getting into, the I would say, I don't say the most important, but I'd say one of the biggest times of the holiday season for us here. I'm going to give Easter that's the big one. I mean,
Easter and Christmas, man. The birth.
I mean,
of
Christmas
Jesus
is a big deal, but to be honest, we're all Christians because of Easter.
Yeah, that's true.
Christmas just started all.
It's the beginning. It's a good beginning.
Yes.
There's no Easter without Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm going to call this the second biggest holiday for the holiday season here. But I know you guys are going to do it up. You know, you guys as always have it planned for Christmas and everything here. You're going to do it up 100,000% like you always do. So what's on tap? What do you guys got going on this time?
Go ahead, Sean. You
Well,
start.
we've actually done some things throughout the month. This month, every Sunday, we're giving. So the first Sunday of this month, we gave 479 pairs of shoes.
Brand new shoes to kids here.
That's a lot of shoes.
Yeah, well, we still have some left. We're still going to give away some more. We have 529 total pairs.
So around like 60 pairs left.
Wow.
And that was as of Sunday. So
it could be now.
We could have gotten rid of some by now.
That's even a tricky because, especially unless you're out measuring every kid's foot, you're kind of like, all right, we need a range. We got a lot of size 8, size 10s, whatever the more popular sizes are.
That's how we had to
was
do
the
it,
trick.
boys and girls. And then we had Nikes and Adidas and Pumas. We wanted to give them good shoes.
Yeah, but
the
shoe game has got to come strong. You got to have, especially as kids, you can't survive in life without shoes.
Some of those kids were funny, man. They look down at some of those pairs of shoes and they're like, do you have another? Do you have another pair of shoes? We're like, yeah, we got another pair of shoes.
And then there were some that actually wept.
Well, that's just
because we did it for families that
and there's
that
probably
the kids needed.
That never had a pair of shoes like that. I've never owned a pair of Nikes. I've never owned a pair of Pumas or whatever Reeboks, whatever the top brand is for them at that time. And
that's why we did it. We did it for kids that.
But I remember that same feeling myself as a kid.
I do
like
too.
when you got your first pair of Nikes or like high-end shoes, but just high-end shoes. Like because mom was like, "No, we're going to Kmart and we'll get the Maypop jobbers there." But then when you hit just when you start thinking about girls, right around that time, you start thinking
shoes matter.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Come on, can I get something that's not, going to fall apart week 2 of school? Something that has a swoosh on it or more than 7 stripes, just like 3 stripes maybe."
That's funny.
So I understand the plight. We all had that at some point here.
That's what we did the first Sunday, and then last Sunday we went to our neighbors. We went and handed out 200 pies.
Nice.
Just to the neighbors of Church on the Move, so in the neighborhoods close to us.
People nearby.
Yeah. Just to go.
Yeah. Well, the pie's got to be warm. You can't
so
go
goodwill. We love
Country
them.
Market on Second Hook gave us a great deal on buying those pies.
They have delicious pies at Farmers.
They have delicious apple and cherry.
Every time I walk into Farmers, I usually stroll through that bakery and try to tempt fate and see if I not buy it. I'm about 50-50 with
50-50. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's not
I'm a
bad.
mark for blueberry pie, so if that shows up,
blueberry, man. Don't even put that in front of me.
Watch out.
But yeah, we just always want to take care of our neighbors around our church, and so got to pray with a lot of people, and it was really a great
just
time.
Do what the season's all about.
Yeah, and let them know that we're right there. We don't want to be the church down the street that never reached out to them. So we've done that many times in that neighborhood. We've walked that neighborhood and talked to people and prayed with people, bought them groceries, did things for them. So
yeah, just being good neighbors and good stewards of in our community here. That's that's really what church and Christianity is all about. Is just loving each other and trying to do good for each other and of all. This season is more so than as a reminder for that. So it's great to see that, and hopefully, folks that maybe if they couldn't get outreached by you guys, come to you guys. Come, you're always welcome to come to services and to come to church and come be a part of the family. Always looking for if people are looking for a church home, they're kind of maybe new to the area or just not happy where they're at. And you guys offer a lot for them to come and be a part of. Basically, it's a family, is what it is. It's a family, and when there's people in the family that are having some troubles or things are going not their way, then the family comes in and helps them through that problem as best they can. That's what the church is all about.
Mike, I always say, most of us know that story about the little boy on the beach throwing the starfish in, and the old crabby man says, "You're not going to make any difference," and he throws one in and says, "I'm making a difference for that one."
Yeah.
We can't do everything at Church on the Move, but we can all do something. Not everybody can do everything. Only God can do everything. But
Sure.
we can all do something, and so that's our heart. That's what we decided to do this Christmas, and it's a lot of effort. You'd think, well, I'll just give away some shoes. Well, it took months and months to buy that many pairs of shoes of different sizes, boys and girls.
Absolutely.
Find the right deals. Albuquerque, Lubbock, man,
Well,
we
yeah.
went everywhere.
And let's face it,
and we spent a lot of money on that because we wanted to. Man, I tell you, Mike, the joy of seeing those kids, like you talked about, getting their first brand new pair of shoes and never have had a brand new pair of shoes or a pair of shoes like that. And the tears and the smiles was worth every bit of the effort. But even passing out the pies. But we have a great church family, man.
We do.
They show up and work and volunteer and come out, and they make great things happen.
Absolutely.
So.
And then when hard times fall on them, guess what? The rest of the family rallies around them. That's just what happens here. Yeah. So what's next?
Yeah,
for
so
the
we're
last
only
2
halfway
weeks here?
finished
Or week
with
and a half, but we
December.
got-
This Sunday we're handing out 150 food boxes.
Okay.
But these food boxes are not the normal food boxes we hand out on a daily basis. These food boxes are Christmas dinners.
Okay.
So if a family's out there and they're not going to be able to afford a Christmas dinner, you know, they can
or you
come
spend
by.
all your money on gifts for the family,
Right.
And now you're like, I guess we're going to eat
peanut butter jelly.
or maybe not even that. You know,
Yeah.
Mike, we got some families that are struggling. The cost of goods, the inflation, some of the things that have happened that have driven up the price of even a Christmas meal.
$100 doesn't get you very far in a grocery
Man, it's
store anymore.
crazy how
Where
much-
a whole
how
family
lo-
could feed themselves a couple years ago on $100.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, you're lucky to get a couple days out of that.
Yeah, so that's why we do it. We're doing it for people who are struggling with those kind of things, families, single moms, single dads that are struggling in those areas. And so we have turkeys and hams. dinners.
Turkeys and hams and stuffing, potatoes, green beans. We got all the goodies for like a traditional
for a feast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can have the debate on which is better, turkey or ham.
That's right.
I'm a turkey
Which
guy,
is a
man,
fun
and I'm
debate
always
to
into
have.
turkey.
Be
Even though
honest-
my wife makes a great ham, but I'm
Be
a
honest,
turkey guy.
both can come to my party any day, and I'm good to go. I'll put both on there. I ain't scared.
That's why I like turkey at Thanksgiving and ham at Christmas.
You know, it's like,
or both at both.
What's a good?
We do both.
What's a good side for this meat? I know, more meat.
More meat.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good
What's the best
idea.
condiment on a bacon or on a burger? Bacon.
Bacon,
I mean,
yeah,
come
just-
on.
It is.
I don't know, bacon or cheese. That gets us
Yeah,
into another
yeah.
debate.
Cheese is number two.
Two. I think bacon. You're right.
But bacon,
I don't know. I would do
Crispy
cheese before I do bacon. Yeah.
It's called a bacon cheeseburger for a reason, not a cheese bacon.
You know
That's
what?
exactly right, Mike. Shut him down.
I
Shut
can't
down that
argue
argument.
with that logic. Can't argue with that
anyway,
logic.
so that's this Sunday.
That's this Sunday. So the drive-through, it's a drive-through.
Okay.
So
So you don't have to get out the car.
No, and one box per vehicle.
Very good.
Yes.
So you'll pull into the parking lot. It'll be the parking lot across the street from our church.
Gotcha.
That's at our storage building and offices
Yeah.
on the north side of Brasher.
And that's where the delicious Valley Cafe is right over. on the
That
side,
it
too.
is.
That's right.
So-
Have
And
you
it's-
eaten at the Valley Cafe?
Oh, I've eaten there multiple times.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
great.
I'm not gonna lie.
Green chili bacon.
Sometimes I
cheeseburger.
DoorDash it because I live at the other end of town, and I'm just like I am too lazy to drive, but I certainly do want
Good
me
old
one.
DoorDash.
Yeah,
man.
that 10 minutes across this big city.
Oh, my
Mike,
gosh.
people crack me up. I lived in big cities.
Yeah.
So, man.
Well, I'm just,
you have too.
At 5 o'clock, I'm lazy. That's what happens. I get home and I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cook.
Yeah.
Ooh, Valley Cafe. Let me get me a
Well,
burger.
thanks.
Let me
Thanks
get
for that.
and,
and all the profits from that, once we pay just the staff that works there, all the profits from that go to support the Dream Center New Mexico, which is a project we started some time ago.
Although I would be very appreciative if you brought back the chicken cordon bleu soup. The green chili creamy potato that he has is good.
I think it will be making a return.
Okay, good.
too.
'Cause
Yeah,
that
yeah.
soup's a 10, and I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've been looking. I'm like, I don't see it.
Ask him for it.
I
Ask
will. I
Anthony
need
if he'll
to.
make it for you.
I
Maybe he'll do
It's-
it for
that
you.
soup's a 10. I love that soup.
Anthony Delisha.
But
who run
fortunately,
that,
he
do a
has
great
many
job.
other things that satiate it if it's not there. So I'm like, all right, I'll get the.
The
but
green chili
Right,
soup,
right.
man.
it
you
is
tried
excellent
that?
too. It's very good. But
That's my favorite.
sometimes I just have a hankering for that
Cordon bleu.
bleu soup. So
Well, he's a ham guy, so
Yeah.
I can get that.
Yeah,
I can
that
understand
makes
that.
sense. That makes sense
Exactly.
right there, man.
Chicken and ham together. More meat.
More meat.
In a good
More meat.
sauce. Yeah, you did mix that up.
It's not hard to figure out. I'm pretty
Did you hear the noise
He's
he
pretty
made?
excited
We got to
about
get
that.
him some cordon bleu.
I'm a
sauce.
simple man. I don't,
Okay.
you know, people like, here's millions of dollars. That's awesome. How much food can I buy with that? Or something like, I'd be way more in love with like a bowl of soup or a cheeseburger if someone handed me a check for $1 million. I'd be like, oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy. Don't get me.
You could buy a lot of
But I'll
cheeseburgers
act
and
like a
soup for $1
child
million.
probably more for something like that than something.
Okay, we will ask Anthony to make you a big old gallon of
That's right.
cordon bleu.
Oh, that soup's a 10.
And we'll
get you taken care
try to
of.
take care
It's
of you
a
on
10.
that.
And by
you
the
can
way,
just put it in your fridge.
I challenge you to eat a breakfast burrito out of there, or any burrito out of there, and not be like overly stuffed. Like that.
Yeah, the
that
burritos.
burrito's a meal in and of itself.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
huge.
kid around.
You can
It's
finish it,
not, yeah.
but you might want to cancel plans afterwards.
Yeah.
You got to be a little lethargic
Yeah.
afterwards. Just say.
Yeah, we don't kid
Yeah,
around.
we don't ever not serve you enough food.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent.
And if you don't, it's great because like my mom, she's 89. She'll just eat half, take the other half home, and eat
To
it
be
for
honest,
dinner.
for most normal people, there's 2 meals in every
Yeah,
meal.
there's 2 meals.
Unless you're kind of a fat guy like myself, then it's a single meal. But for most people, it's 2 meals.
I managed to get it down all myself too. There's not much left in our baskets
It
or
takes
plates.
a little dedication because
Yeah, you gotta be
You got to
dedicated.
push past the wall.
Yeah,
You're like,
you
all
gotta-
right, I got to get through the wall here. But anyway, that's
So this
I invite
Sunday,
you to come.
that starts at 2:00.
Okay.
Yeah. North
2
side
o'clock. Get there
right
early.
across
Like I
from
said,
the
it's
church.
going to be
Yes.
popular. First come, first serve. Get in line
That's right.
there.
150. That's all we have is 150
One box per vehicle. So
That's right.
so please and please be considerate of others. It is the season
That's
of we're all sharing and stuff. And if you're truly in need, reach out. We'll make sure you're taken care of here. So good deal. So that's this Sunday.
That's this Sunday.
All right. What else we got?
Christmas Eve.
The following Sunday is Christmas Eve services.
Yes.
So we have Christmas Eve services at 9, 11, and 1 that
Okay.
morning, all a.m.
Perfect.
9, 11, and 1. And following those services, we're just blessing our church family. We'll serve cupcakes and hot cocoa.
Kind of a little Christmas
For
party.
everybody
yeah,
there,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
On their way out, as they're in the foyer or on their way out the door.
Right.
and that'll be following Christmas services, which will be a great experience.
Very good. Are
for
you
the
doing like a
family.
midnight service or a?
So later that night we
Okay.
are beginning at 11:30. We're doing what we call our midnight massive,
Okay.
which we've done now for I think 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's a
We're
tradition
running
now.
here, yeah.
It's a
So-
tradition, yeah.
And and that's a family communion service, and we also do our big candle lighting.
Nice.
And that's one of the more popular services, man.
Really, yeah.
That thing really packs out, and
Sure.
People
And,
families come all dressed up in their matching pajamas.
some of them will be dressed fancy, some of them pajamas. Yeah,
everybody
just-
dresses a little bit different, but
Yeah.
they come out and we'll sing, we'll do some praise and worship, and then we'll do. When we say family communion, it means each family will come up and take communion together as a family.
Nice.
And
Okay.
if they don't have someone to pray with them, then one of the pastors or the elders will step up and pray with
Nice.
them, and then we do our candle lighting services, Pastor Sean said, and we'll sing and
I can see what's
worship
very
and go
popular.
home. We go 11:30, 12:30.
Love it. And I see why it's popular because let's face it, generally Christmas Day, people's plans fill up quick with
Yeah, they
family
do.
and
Yeah.
time. And so, and then sometimes church takes the back burner. But we all need to remember why we're celebrating that
Exactly.
holiday. It's not about Santa and gifts and all of that. That's the ancillary stuff. So the midnight mass is that it kind of starts the Christmas holiday off right for folks. And
I
it's
just
right.
can't do Christmas because
Yeah.
people have questioned me about a lot of these things because the days change based
Mm-hmm.
on what year it is, and I just can't do Christmas without celebrating Jesus. I mean, it's just like why?
Sure. Well, and
You know,
you look at the history
why-
books.
why
More than
do
likely,
that?
he was probably born in the summer.
Yes, yeah.
But
summer, early fall.
Yeah, but it when we're talking something that's thousands of years old, we can be off a couple months on these kind of things.
Well, the
But-
bottom line is, biblically, we don't know exactly.
Exactly.
You
There
know,
wasn't-
they're
there-
just speculating even the summer and
we
the
didn't have
fall.
the internets to record everything that took place, and no one had
Thank-
cell phones to do TikTok videos on what happened to mark everything. So we ballpark it a bit. But that being said, yes, that's the reason we're here. We're here celebrating the birth of Christ, the birth of Christianity, pre-birth of Christianity, and that's what and Santa and the family. That's all good stuff. But taking that moment to give thanks and to celebrate God, that's that's the reason for the season.
That's right.
And that's why we're giving. You know, we didn't do our Sugar Rush this year because we wanted to really focus our attention on just really giving throughout this month.
Well,
and so
you've seen the cost of
that's what
shoes
we've
and the
done.
cost of candy. You know, we said shoes are going to be worth a little bit long run than a piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, and I don't know about, you know, I know how I grew up that we passed down clothing items, you know, especially when you're growing so fast.
Sure.
If they still had a decent pair of shoes left, man, you wore those till they fell off your feet. You know,
well,
because
ain't gonna lie, I'm 50 years old. I've been riding these shoes way too long, and that's just pure.
Man, we got to check out Mike's shoe game, man. We got to see if he's even got one.
I got him.
Is he in the game?
I'm so anti-fashion and pure function that I just don't care. I'm like, they're still on my feet. They're fine.
He's not even neutral. He's anti.
I just hit a point in my life where I got so tired of worrying about all that crap. You know, I'm married now. We're happily married. I don't have to impress anybody per se.
Your wife's happy with your clothing choices?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not an embarrassment, but I'm not going to worry about what I'm going to wear.
I get it.
So the standard changes in marriage from impressing someone to just not being an embarrassment.
Not being impressive anymore. Just I'm not going to impress you anymore,
I
sweetheart.
enjoy marriage and me to know to keep trying, but at the same time, I don't. You know, I ain't going.
Okay, Mike, we're going to let you off the hook there because we can take this a lot of places.
I'm not pulling all the stops out.
We have to call your wife. Hey,
to do that.
Mike's wife, call in to the show right now. We want to have a conversation with you and want to talk to you about his fashion choices.
I've already won the heart here. Right?
Yeah, you won the heart. But those holy underwear aren't holy. They're not pure. You need to throw those out and get a new pair.
Now
Mike.
that I'm good. There's still 3 holes or 4 holes as designated.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going all kinds of other areas.
I'm not sure what to say about that.
But,
Yeah, me either.
they're still good. I'm up on. My underwear game and sock game are strong.
Yeah,
the
there
rest
we
of
go.
me not so much.
That's fantastic.
But all kidding aside, we would love to have you come out and be a part of the family. Come out to the 11:30 midnight service Christmas Eve. Come out if you're in need and need food. Please join us to come out. If you want to give back and donate, please come out and be the church. Say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. How do I get a part of that? Come be a part of our church family, and you can roll up your sleeves with the rest of the congregation here and get to serving and get to helping and doing.
Can we mention 2 more things, Mike?
Absolutely.
One, the Dream Center, New Mexico is the old Leisure Inn. We are working so hard on changing that, getting the plumbing working and all kinds of other things happening there.
What's kind of an ETA on that one being ready?
We don't have one because a lot of work is being done as volunteer.
Well, and in construction and that stuff is you're at the mercy of a lot of other factors there. So,
but it's moving. So we have to secure the building first because it was pretty vandalized, and so
right.
And then we have to get the plumbing because they stole the copper. So we're working on plumbing, electrical. We got to get the building safe.
Unfortunately,
and secure,
that's more commonplace than you think.
Absolutely. So we got to protect it, but it's going to be incredible for our community and for people that are just in need. And then we have our marriage conference coming up. Is it February 17th?
February 15th through the 17th.
Okay.
We have Danny Goki and his wife coming to speak at that. Danny Goki's I don't know if you know who Danny is, but he's a pretty famous Christian artist.
Okay.
And he's coming. He's going to sing some, but he's bringing his wife. They're going to teach as well.
Okay.
And then, of course, my wife and I will teach. And then we have another couple coming in that's going to talk. The name of their podcast and their ministry is called Better Than Blended.
Okay.
Talking about blended families.
Yeah.
They had to blend their 2 families.
Nice.
And they're going to do a great job. The
nowadays.
Smiths, I think, is their name.
The Scots.
The Scots.
You were
I'm
close.
I had an S.
And
You were close.
If I got the first letter right, I'm good, Mike. I'm good.
That's me too.
The Scots.
I'm like something. Yeah, I hear you. I know faces, but names,
me too.
You got to ingrain it in me a couple times before it sinks in.
But the Scots are coming, so that's in February. And so
can you RSVP now for these?
Oh
things?
yeah, you can. The Joy of Marriage.
You can go to our website, or you can go to the Joy of Marriage Facebook page.
I'm thinking that would
Church
be a
on the
good little
Facebook page.
stocking gift to put in the tree, for
you
your
and your
spouse,
wife,
and say, hey, make plans for February. We're going to work on our marriage together. That's
It's only $150 for the entire
Couple.
weekend right now for
The
the
whole
couple.
weekend.
Good deal.
And that
it's kind of
provides
like
a lot.
Couple getaway too, and all because you're just focusing on you two for the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of families get an Airbnb or a hotel.
Maybe
and they'll even leave the house. And just kind of hang out here.
The
And
grandparents or friends and family to watch the kids for the weekend, and you go take care of your marriage and
You got it.
make
Just
you stronger.
invest.
Yeah, and by the way, have fun and
Oh, yeah, we always
romance
have
and
fun.
all the things that why you got married in the first place are going to come out for that.
It's a great time. I work the event, right? Obviously,
right.
But it's mine and my wife's favorite weekend of the year.
Sure,
it's a.
Well, I would even
It's
gather.
a blast,
They've
man.
taught at the event, too.
I would even
know,
gather
so.
like if you had just so happen to have a moment in your marriage where you're a little bit at odds on something, then this happens and it kind of I forgot about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if your husband
your
refuses
marriage-
to wear good shoes
Yeah,
and
even the best
and kind of
marriages
letting
have
himself go,
moments-
that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Even
kind
the
of pull
best-
it back together.
Even the best marriages have a
No,
hiccup now and
he's
then.
keeping the love alive. He's got sock and underwear, man.
That's right.
He's keeping the love alive.
That's right.
He'd be easy to buy for Christmas. Just
Exactly.
buy him socks
I'm
and
not hard.
underwear,
People
man.
just give me,
Socks and underwear. He's cool.
It's like you buy him a Sunday and he's like happy. He's
Yeah,
fine.
some cordon bleu soup.
What do you
man.
get
He's
for
like,
Christmas?
He's
You got
like,
a cheeseburger, a hot fudge sundae.
No, a bacon cheeseburger.
A bacon cheeseburger, a hot fudge sundae, and he's
Some
like
cordon bleu
He's like a
soup,
12-year-old
man, from
happy
Valley
kid in the
Cafe.
corner. He's fine.
I love it, Mike. I love it.
Hey, it's the
Simple.
older you get, the simpler it is.
Absolutely.
I tell my family, don't buy me anything.
Same way.
I'm good. I've
If
got
I had
what
my
I need.
druthers,
And
no one would exchange gifts, and we just spend the day as a family hanging out, just eating and whatever happens.
well, and I like this idea. I was talking to a family last night, and a great family, and we do this every year too. We find a family that we know is not going to have much, and we just kind of adopt them for Christmas and buy them some gifts and just bless them. But there's always somebody that you can bless, and I always try to teach my children, like, here's how much we're spending for Christmas, and this percentage right here that would normally go to you is going to somebody else. So I just always try to teach my children to be givers.
Be givers and servants.
Yeah. And that God blesses us to be a blessing. Yeah, and servants.
Well, and that's what this is. It's giving back a little bit, and this is that season, and the simple little acts of kindness go tenfold when you do it out of your heart, and that's it. We got to get Crystal in here.
Yes.
So I want to leave her.
Don't want to leave
Please
Crystal
do.
out.
That's right.
But Church on the Move is very easy to follow. You can, of course, you have your Facebook, Church on the Move, Roswell Facebook, pop right up. You can like and follow it. I just type in Church on the Move, Google, and the website comes up. What's the actual web address?
COTMRoswell.com.
There you go. And you can go right there. And, of course, you can always come by the church there on Brasher. You pretty much got the whole section of Brasher right there. You got the main church on one side, and then, like we said,
In between Washington and Union, we kind of both sides of the street.
So we're in between the firefighter training thing on one side and the post office on the other side there. Right in the middle is the sweet spot that is Church on the Move. Good deal.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
having
Appreciate
us.
you, Mike.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
everybody.
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas
man.
to you and your family and everybody that's
All right,
listening.
and I'll be looking for that soup.
I'll take care of you.
We'll see you
I
soon.
got you covered.
We'll see you soon with that.
He should never take that off the menu. Just saying. Never, ever. I don't
He
care.
hears that all the time.
Yeah.
Ever.
About
ever.
a lot of things.
Never. That one is a never, ever. You can burn the building down. There better be still soup on the menu. That's all I'm saying.
We're glad you like it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal.
All right, it is 9:40. Quick commercial break, and Crystal's going to join us. Don't go away.
When life is hard, we're here to help. At Artesia General Hospital, our mental and behavioral health experts address a range of challenges including stress, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, bipolar disorder, suicidal thoughts, grief, and more. From counseling to personalized treatment plans, our compassionate care is designed to meet the unique needs of both teenagers and adults. Please visit artesiageneral.com/you matter to make an appointment at our Artesia or Carlsbad offices.
Christmas in New Mexico means tamales, and the best tamales in the world come from right here. El Charro tamales are handmade the same way they have been made for 75 years, in red with pork or green with cheese. Tamales from El Charro are the perfect gift for the ones you love to bring the flavors of home into your holiday. Order yours today by calling 575-622-8590 or stop by 1711 South Virginia in Roswell, behind the old Kmart. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from El Charro, celebrating 75 years of flavor from the Trujillo family to yours.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergus Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergus is on the job. Fergalicious.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's traveling to the holiday family dinner in an efficient Accord hybrid, or heading to a hike to burn it off in a powerful CR-V hybrid. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Accord Hybrid and 2024 CR-V Hybrid.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
Did you make it? Almost there. It is. We were debating. It is 9:42. Crystal Noble joining us with the Humane Society, but I offered her a treat, and she was worried that she wasn't going to be able to get it through the commercial break, and she just finished. So now she can say, so now I have to stop stalling and let her talk. Good morning. It is very good. Yes. Oh, yes. That is a very good stuff there. That's a 10, that stuff there. Thank you to the Cabin family for bringing that to us. It was it's been a hit in the office. It actually, I was out of the office Tuesday and they brought it by when I was not here. So I came in yesterday morning. It was like they're presented to me on my desk here like, oh, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh man. And I was like, and I saw there's nuts and I'm like, I can't take them home because I'll be the only one that eats them. So they're here for all to enjoy, but every person has had the same reaction that you have. It's like, oh, dang, those are good.
Cabin family, if you are listening, anybody is listening, I work at 703 East McGaffey Street.
That's right.
Recipe would be great, or if you just want to drop a box of that
That's
off,
right.
would be greater too.
Yeah, while you're donating dog treats to the dogs.
People need treats too.
People treats, they would be good too.
I like my people treats.
Those things are 10, but
And I have more people to share with there, so I wouldn't be eating that entire
that's
box.
good. You got some employees helping you right now. That's a good thing. So that being said, how's now like, and we say this every time, no pets as gifts,
right?
Unless
that person is participating in the adoption.
Absolutely. But that being said, if you are looking to bring a pet home, dog or cat, there are some wonderful animals that are looking for a home right now.
We have a ton of dogs. Like, our adoptions have been fair on both sides with cats and dogs. However, I have more space for dogs than I do cats.
Okay. So cats are a little bit full right now.
My cats are a little bit lower for ones that are available for adoption.
Okay.
I don't have
more
any
in quarantine.
Yeah, I don't have any ready in quarantine to come out yet. It'll probably be right after Christmas before those guys are able to come out.
Okay.
But it's weird. Like, we've done one cat adoption to one dog adoption. Like, it's been neck and neck for like the last 2 weeks, which is really good. Our adoptions are up, but we do have a lot of people coming in. Oh, well, I want to get a puppy and I want to give it as a gift. So we're having to explain to them why we don't allow that. And if you want to give somebody a gift of an animal, one, make sure that it's something that they can maintain.
Absolutely.
Take care of, afford, and something they even want. Because 99% of the animals that enter a shelter after Christmas are pets that were given as gifts as unwanted gifts.
For some, you're giving, well, you are, regardless, you're giving the gift of responsibility.
Right.
Yes, there's so much love and joy that comes with that. But if the person isn't willing to take on the responsibility to begin with, then the gift of that you're intending will not have the same impact you're hoping it would.
Right.
And so that's why what you're saying is make sure this person's fully on board, fully aware of the responsibilities of being a
and let
pet
them
owner.
be the ones to pick out what animal they're going to be spending that animal's life with.
Yeah.
You know, the one they're going to be taking care of. They need to have a bond to that animal that they're adopting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfectly fine if you want to pay for the adoption for them. We don't mind that.
Absolutely.
But what we do mind is somebody getting a gift as a surprise and it not be something that they want.
Right.
You know, they might have wanted a cat and you brought a dog, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever dog
Or
you
you wanted
pick.
them, that you got a male and they wanted a female,
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So it's better to be safe And like I said, get a little stuffed animal of like a cat or a dog or even a combo. And
Cradle
then,
your own little basket to put under the tree.
And then, get a card that says, I know you're looking for a forever friend, and we would like to help you find your forever friend.
Mm-hmm.
We will pay for it as your Christmas gift.
Yeah.
And then after Christmas, come down.
Yeah. Come down together and walk the shelter and then find the animal that that just opens your heart and makes you melt.
So a while back we were talking about Shasta the Great Dane.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to go on transport to Albuquerque.
Okay.
Well, I got notice on Monday that she got to go home and she's going to get to spend Christmas with the forever family.
Oh, good for her.
Yes.
So someone is open their home to that big dog and gonna
that
create,
big girl.
Oh, I'm sure, but she's gonna be happy, especially if there's kids and stuff. And
she
all
was
that.
so happy. The lady that does the adoptions up there, when I was talking to her on Monday, she was like, it couldn't have been a more perfect match.
Awesome.
And I was like, wonderful. And yesterday, we've been over the process for a couple of days. We had a mother and daughter come in, and the mother had recently lost her little lap dog, and it's been about 6 months, and she's like,
she's ready for a new
my daughter has a dog, and he comes and loves on both of us. She goes, but I want a dog. Well, they ended up adopting a little Chihuahua named Nova, and it was like they had always been together.
That's awesome.
The introduction between the two dogs went perfect, and Chihuahuas, typically don't like a lot of strange people.
They can be a little picky.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it was just like match made in heaven with this family.
That's great.
And so Nova got to go home yesterday. They're picking her up from the vet this morning. That's right. She went to the vet yesterday. But when you get those adoptions to where everything just falls in place perfectly, it makes it so worthwhile of what we do and why we are so specific.
Like the days that are the bad days, those make up for it. Yeah.
They really do. And a lot of people ask us why we're so strict, and it's because we want to eliminate the amount of animals being returned to our shelter because the adoption didn't go right, and then we don't want to put a sour taste in your mouth for adoption. Because if you adopt a dog and then you get it home and then it tears everything up or
you want a positive experience.
bites one of your kids, that's not a positive experience. We want to create the best experience when it comes to adoption as possible, so that way when it's time for a new family member, you think adoption instead of, going on Facebook or going to a breeder.
And at the end of the day, you guys are the advocates for the pets.
We are.
These pets, you're the advocates for, and you want to make sure that if you're handing over one of these pets, it's going to a place that's going to love it and treat it properly. And unfortunately, people have an intent to do that, but don't have the skills or ability to execute that.
Right.
So you guys, and you get it. People come to you and they'll be pouring their hearts out. Yes, we know you have a passion, but if you physically aren't able to do it because of your facilities or finances or whatever, then we can't adopt. Now, if you'd like to volunteer, if you want to be around pets, guess what? We can help you there.
Always.
But we're not going to let you be a pet owner if you do not have the means to be a pet owner.
Right. And, that's just like people having like 6 and 7 kids when they don't physically have the means to support 6 or 7 kids.
You've got enough struggles in your life. Let's not add
create
more to that.
Right.
Yes.
And so we don't want it to be a struggle for you and for the animal, because when you're stressed, they sense it and they become stressed.
That's not fair to the pet.
No, it's not.
So this is why you guys are a little strict on it, because you're the advocates for these pets when no one else was. And so you're for lack of a better term, you're a bit of a mama bear when it comes to the animals. They're like your kids, and you're going to treat them as such. And that's just what it is. And trust me, you want that too, because at the end of the day, if you're not prepared for this, it's not going to be a good experience for you.
No, and if you have questions and you're unsure of something, call.
Raising a pet is not a whole lot different than raising a child. It's a little bit cheaper, but really isn't. And I mean, shoot, they even got healthcare insurance and everything for pets now. That's a thing.
Next is going to be dog college or cat college.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they already have dog training and cat training, so kind of we do have dog and cat college.
Absolutely. A little bit.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
it's cheaper.
They're better trained than some of us, to be honest.
It's cheaper. But Our main goal is to make sure that it's not going to overwhelm you and it's not going to overwhelm the pet.
Yeah.
And we want it to be a smooth, easy transition of welcoming a new member into your family.
Yeah.
Recently, we've had a couple of families come in, and that was what they decided they wanted for Christmas was instead of buying Christmas gifts for everybody, they went down and they picked out an animal to welcome into the family.
I love that. As a family choosing that, that's a great idea.
And so one of the families that recently adopted one of the cats, they had adopted one of our cats a little over a year ago.
Okay.
And so they're like, he seems lonely, but then he doesn't seem lonely. So they were a little unsure going back and forth. And the son said, Mom, if he's lonely when we're at school and you're at work, he needs a friend. And if he doesn't like the friend, he has a perch and she can have a perch. So the son actually kind of drew everything in together.
Nice.
Which is really funny because in the beginning, when they first were looking at the cats to adopt, the son was like, maybe we need a dog. And the mom's like, no, we need a cat. But this family is so wonderful. They would come in, like the kids would get out of school and the mom would bring them or the dad would bring them, whoever was off work. And they would spend like an hour each day visiting with a different cat until everybody had a good decision on which one fit better for their lifestyle.
They did a legit research on
3
this.
weeks.
Good for them.
Before they decided which cat. Which is perfectly fine. We want you to be 100% sure of what you want.
Absolutely.
And who's going to be a better fit inside your household.
And let's face it, these cats will be with them for the next 18, 20 years of their life.
And it's funny because, the cat that they adopted from us was a very big, heartwarming cat to us at the shelter. So we actually got Christmas cards last year with, the family and Carl. And so I was laughing. I was like, also this year you need to hurry up so we can get a Christmas card with Carl and her.
The new edition.
And she started laughing. She goes, we're going to go home and get on it right now. But it's really funny because, knowing the situation of the cat and the personality of the cat that they took home makes it so much easier for us knowing the personalities of the ones we currently have.
Absolutely.
To help mix well into the household.
Absolutely. And guess what? I'm going to venture on a guess that the children of that family, when they grow up to start their own families, they're probably going to have the same traditions.
I think so.
With pets and things too, like that. They're creating a whole just tradition there. I think for their family, it's really cool. So
until you get to your limit and can't afford them. So
that's right.
Don't new animal every Christmas.
See, I love them too, but I have reeled into 2 cats. I'm not going any more than 2 cats because anything above that is just madness. Two's a good sweet spot. They can accompany each other when we're not around. They're very
beat each other up when you don't know it.
But they don't really tear up the house too much. And the only real problem we have is when we don't give them the laxatone enough and they start hairballing up. But other than that, they're pretty good. So.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: cats will act like they don't like each other.
Oh, they love each other.
Wait till they're not looking. Like one day I found both cats under the bed right next to each other, like hanging out. And I was like, I thought y'all hated each other. Why y'all like it? And they were doing it like secretly under the bed, loving on each other.
For the thrift store, really quickly.
Yes.
So as of now, all Christmas is 75% off.
Okay. Is there still good selection? I know you had a big sale.
They're still pulling more stuff out of the.
Well, that's just it. You guys have a bevy of Christmas that you can't put it all out at once.
Ironically, people are actually going and buying other Christmas stuff and donating their old Christmas stuff currently.
So
and
it's kind of replenishing itself.
I'm like, huh.
But that's great because people are thinking and using, and that's the whole idea. Because every time you make a purchase out of that building, you're helping to take care of those pets.
Yes. If you are going to have a lot of family over for Christmas or company, and you're needing some dishware, they have a lot of dishware sets.
Nice.
So you don't have to worry about like have mismatched plates.
Yeah.
They have sets. If you are needing cold winter clothes, they have a lot of winter clothes.
Nice. So please go there. If you need a winter coat, don't pay hundreds of dollars for a new one. Go down there and pay like $20 for one.
They have a couple of big area rugs. Very nice, very beautiful. The standard size that you buy. Like as tall as me and a lot longer than me. But they have a couple of those. Very appropriately priced. If you have a need for bedding, like sheets or pillowcases, they have a lot of sheets and pillowcases. Not a whole lot of blankets. Somebody came in and wiped them out.
Okay. Are they various sizes?
They
like
are various
queen,
sizes
full,
from
king?
actually toddler beds.
Okay.
The day beds.
Infant beds.
Up to king size.
Nice. So from the whole gamut, pretty much.
And pretty much.
Excellent.
And then this Saturday only, the 16th, all clothes in the store will be half off.
Wow.
So whether it's hanging, baskets, all clothes are going to be half off.
And folks, a lot of times you'll see clothes in there and it's still brand new, got the tag on.
Yes. Yeah. I recently just bought my husband a brand new pair of Wranglers for $5 because it was half off.
Well, what happened was someone bought them and said, these are tighter. These things shrunk on me.
Well, no, they still had the tag on.
Right, but I think they probably thought they were a 32 and were actually a 34 or whatever it was.
We had a bunch of clothes actually donated that had like the theft tags on them.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, great. You know, we can't sell them.
Right, because you can't get those off.
We actually called the store where they were stolen from, and they're like, well, they're already out of our inventory. Just bring them down and we'll take the tags off for you.
Well, that was nice.
It was very nice.
That was nice. Please don't steal clothes and then donate them to the thrift store.
Please don't. If you bought it, tried it on, you thought it looked good, got home, looked in the other mirror and changed your mind, and you want to donate it, perfect. But don't go robbing Peter to help Paul.
No. Yeah,
no.
Please.
If it's from your own genuine heart and you have it, please. We would greatly appreciate it.
And please call ahead if you're making donations and things so we can make arrangements. We don't want stuff just left out there because it either gets stolen, damaged, or not what its intended purpose was.
Right. And if you have large furniture, please call ahead. Make sure that we have space. Right now, the whole back area, they have it set up kind of like with all the Christmas stuff. So we would have to move the furniture in a different area.
Gotcha. So, yeah, right now we're kind of overflowing with the Christmas decor. Now, that being said, we would love to have it if you can hold on to it for a week or two. And then when space is cleared out, we'll have arrangements made to come and get it, pick it up from you or whatever.
So what we're going to do for Christmas, since Christmas is on a Sunday and Monday this year and we're naturally closed, next Saturday, the kennels and the thrift store will both be closing at 12.
All right, very good. But you will be open until noon.
We will be open until noon.
Okay.
As of the 19th, adoptions will stop.
Okay, and it's what, 10 to noon?
Yeah, 10 to 12.
10 to noon on the 23rd of December, the eve of Christmas Eve. So
I'm having a squirrel moment. There's a hawk in the tree with a pigeon in its claws.
Oh, wow. You get some good sights out our window sometimes. I had a bird sit here and tap on the window one time. That was a little unnerving.
I'm going to zoom in and take a picture of that because nobody's going to believe me.
Yeah, I occasionally I see things out this window that people don't believe me. And so I'm glad someone else saw something. Because usually I'll see it and I was like, there's a bird tapping on that window. I think he's trying to talk to me. And people look at me like I'm stupid. And I'm like, no, it's happening. And as a matter of fact, they did get a picture of one once. Oh, I just saw the time. We better wrap this up.
So we will, adoptions will stop until after Christmas.
Okay.
We will do adoptions up until the 19th.
Okay.
And then after that, we will resume them the week after Christmas.
Okay. Check back with the website if you were looking for pets and things and the shelter's closed. RoswellHumane.org. You can see every single animal that is calling the Humane Society home. If you see not available next to it, that means it's in quarantine. Does not mean it's been adopted. It's in quarantine. Call and check and ask if you find one that's in quarantine that looks like you're falling in love with. And when it's comes out of quarantine, you can get on down there and get first dibs on that particular pet there. So
we have a few that are probably going to come out right before Christmas.
Okay.
But they're not.
But they won't be available till after because you guys are adopting afterwards.
But we do have some smaller dogs that will be coming out. But we have a lot of little dogs right now, and I mean a lot.
So if you like the little ones around the house, please come out. We got a fine selection right now.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, and sorry to run over.
No problem. Well, thank you for helping us out. So RoswellHumane.org. Go there, become a member. That's another way. If you want to give other Christmas gifts and support, become a member.
Membership renews in January, so if you start sending in memberships now, it'll start for 2024.
Nice.
So please, if you want to give a gift to somebody, pay for a membership for them.
And do it in their name. That's a great way to do it.
And a lot of people are actually, instead of buying people gifts, they're making donations in their name.
Love it.
And so if you tell us this is made in honor of so-and-so for Christmas and give us their information, we will send them a card telling them you sent a donation for them for Christmas.
Thank you for being loved.
Yes. Perfect.
Absolutely. Well, Crystal, if I don't see you before then, I think next time I see you is after
I see you on
Christmas.
Monday.
Oh, that's right. Monday. Never mind. But we'll see you officially in your And your Humane Society hat after Christmas.
Yes.
So, very good. So have a great week. I will see you next week. And then I'll wish you Merry Christmas. Thanks, Krista.
Thank you.
All right. It is time for us to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. News in progress. Have an amazing day. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
16 points and the NASDAQ adding 44 points. More at townhall.com.